Hey, welcome to the Bob and Tam Show. The other half's not here. We are trying to clean the house up and things haven't gone right today. So we're kind of running behind. Let's see if she sits down. She'll be in the camera. And so shaking a little bit. So we're just trying to get everything together here at the last minute, but we are going to go live. And so hopefully a few people will come on tonight and see what's going on, even though there's football going on. Got a couple announcements. Been working on a video for about a day and a half now. That's going to come out tomorrow night if it all goes well. It's going to be all about getting ready for the motorcycle rallies for the year. Kind of gave you a little sneak peek at some of the rallies that we've attended to over the years. Spent most of my time looking for footage. So I'm hoping they're going to get that wrapped up here. And if you go in the bag there, you can get the iPad. Oh, so, so Daniel's in the house. And Karen, there's Karen.
You got your microphone on?
Yep. It's in my pocket. Emery HVAC. Yep, he's going to be seeing us on Wednesday. We're going to talk about that tonight, too. We got to ask you guys, too. We're going to have to call you because we need to know what you guys want to eat and things like that and what you drink, you know, because we do have water, tea, a little bit of coffee. That's about it.
No, I got a whole thing full of coffee. I got Folgers and Dunkin' Donut coffee. Yeah, we have it correct. So you can make a cup, however many cups you want.
So we'll see how that all goes. Now let's see what else we got on. Scott and Margie's on. They're in the house and her two wheels.
Hey there, how you guys doing?
Cece's there. Happy Sunday. George is in the house. And there's Karen again.
Yeah.
Hope you're having a nice Christmas holiday season. Not these last 3 days. We've been working. Well, for years here, we've been gaining weight, losing weight, gaining weight. And so we decided that
more gaining than losing.
We're going to start cleaning out some of the closets. I kind of got mine pretty much done now. She's still working all of hers.
Mine's done.
We're putting everything in
what you need to put in bags.
Sealed bags. We're sealing them all up. We're going to put them up in the over the top of the studio. And we'll see how that all turns out. And to get that out of there, we got a bunch of stuff the little kids used to play when they were little, grandkids. We're going to take a bunch of that junk to the Goodwill, get rid of that here next week too, before Ron gets out here. Ron, Emery HVAC, is coming out to help hook up our central air unit in the shop. Hopefully, I have another problem. I hooked up a air conditioner in the bathroom, and it just isn't very cold. But somebody told me because I ended up rolling the copper tubing up, and they said that can cause a problem. So I don't know. Oh. I didn't cut it and
I told Patsy we were home, so I didn't know. Are you home? I'm assuming. There's clearly. Sorry, I'm like, well, you just made it because we just got on. You're not that way.
If I spun this around, you would see a disaster. So I told her, I said, you better get going or we're not going to make it. Because like I say, I've been editing since about 9 o'clock this morning. I've been working on this video of highlights of which is what we're starting our rally season. It's going to start next week. And we're going to start telling you about things that you ought to start thinking about. So we're going to give you a tease on a bunch of different rallies throughout the United States. Everything from Daytona all the way down to, I guess, Bikes, Blues, and Barbecues about the last. Oh, no, Galveston, or actually Rocky Point would be the last rally if we do them all. So kind of from the start to the finish, to kind of give you just a tease of each one of those rallies to see if you might be interested in something like that. Some of the footage I haven't been able to find, but I did the best I can. I'm still not done with the video. It's about a 30-minute video, and I've still got about 5 to 10 minutes left of footage. I'm still trying to find to cover up what we're talking over.
Happy birthday, Mike. His birthday's tomorrow.
There you go.
Yeah. Down there in Phoenix. XM Bikers on. How you guys doing?
Yeah. We would invite some like you come on, but we're just a mess tonight, so I'm not going to do that. We don't have our earbuds or nothing in, so not going to ask anybody to come on tonight. We're going to start trying to do that, bring on people that other YouTube channels, if they want to come on with us, they can. A lot of channels. We were on the Monkeys last weekend. And some of the other ones I've been on just off and on. Most of the time when they come on, I'm like, I really don't have nothing to talk about. I haven't really been watching their video, you know.
Well, when he said, Monkey wants us to come on, I just gotten out of the shower. I had my pajamas on. I had no makeup on.
Nobody's going to see you. We're in the dark. Yeah. We were at my daughter's house, and it was kind of crappy because we didn't have headphones, and we had two
earbuds. One earbud. He had one in it.
And to get rid of the echo. So that's kind of what's going on. So that's what we got going on Wednesday. Ron's going to show up. Emery HVAC, he's going to show up and help. He's bringing his partner with him to help you and get that all hooked up. And that should all get done. Hopefully it won't take very long. I've already got the wiring done. I got a box. We just got to cut the hole in the top. I didn't cut that through yet because I didn't want to cut too big or too small. So we'll have to do that. I got a jigsaw for that, or circular saw, whatever you want to use. Then we've got drill a hole through the wall. I don't have any ductwork for the top yet. I'm going to, once it gets set up, then I'll have a guy or I'll go buy it. Actually found out the other day they sell ductwork at, what's that store we went to down at Mindy's?
Cow Ranch? Oh.
No, down at Mindy's. The mega store is full of just about anything you want to buy. They weren't impressed with it, but Mervin's.
Oh, Menards.
Yeah, there you go. They sell ductwork, but I don't know where the closest one around here is.
Not
You
very
just
close.
measure it and you can hook it all.
Where are you going to start with the rebuild projects? And you're going to start with the rebuild. Oh, it probably won't be back until after Sturgis, I would think.
So we got some other things to talk about. We've got, I think we found the lift that we've been working on. Gentleman's supposed to call me in the next couple of days, let us know shipping on it, that it'll be on its way. So all I got to do is figure out how to get it out of the back of the truck. I think those things weigh between 800 and 1,000 pounds. The guy next door has got a lift. He's got one for like working on buildings and stuff. So put roofing and stuff on. So I'm going to try to get a hold of him maybe Monday and see what he would charge me to come over and take that out of the truck, semi, and then put it in the shop. Because the one, they're going to probably come with a forklift, but they're not going to be able to drive it around the rocks. Probably they got just a regular cheapio wheels on it. Probably, I don't know. They say they don't want to pull in a rock driveway. So we'll see what happens. Could leave it here at the house, but then we got to take everything out of the garage, get it in there. So,
well, then we have to get it over to the shop. That's where it's going to. Home is
the idea
going
was
to be.
originally to put it on a flatbed when it got here, and then I could take it over there and just slide it off. I have no idea.
It's somebody's on Facebook. Hello, Facebook user. I don't know who you are. From Montana. I have no idea where this. You should see the house.
Here, spin it around.
No,
There's my phone.
I brought your phone in. Can you?
So she's gonna look at that and see who it is.
Oh.
So we did have some, I have this all the time, but I usually kind of catch it right away on our Facebook pages. We've had some pornographic stuff that has popped up. Somebody else put up today, so just a bunch of jibber jabber. I don't even know what it was they were trying to put on. It wasn't even something you could click.
Was it a foreign language?
No, it was just like hashtag something, but it wasn't a site. If you see any of that pop up, don't ever click on anything like that. Let us know, and we do have a couple.
Actually, Jill and Jerry and Jill, I guess, and he's the one that called.
And so last night we were actually at church, and I had to go in there and look at a porno site while I was sitting in church and so I didn't have time to look and see who it was to take them out. So I just decided, just screw it. I'll just take the whole chat and just drop it all down. That way I don't have to worry about that person coming back.
Well, they kind of did talk about porno at church yesterday.
Yeah, I did. Hussies. And
hello from Eureka Springs. So that must be Jeff.
There you go. I'm actually on my video. We talk about Eureka Springs on our video tomorrow night. With a whole bunch of other places. And I show a little bit of Eureka Springs, of the cat house, and a little bit of Flatheads over there, and some with the dealership. So that's the video tomorrow night going to be coming out. Hopefully, if I get it all done. I should be able to get it done tomorrow, but we got to go to the dump and take a bunch of stuff down. We got to go to Goodyear. Got to go to Goodwill, get rid of all that. We got to take all the bags that she's been sucking them with the vacuum down. Airtight bags, going to throw them up on top of the shelf, on top of the studio there. So we're getting pretty close. I haven't had any time to do the drywall. I really wanted to finish that up tomorrow, but I don't think we're going to get that because I'm going to have to finish all this crap that I still got to do inside the house. So I don't know if we're going to get the drywall up. I wanted to kind of get it done. We got a guy, might be calling us any day, that's going to do the taping for me. I'm just not in the bathroom. She wants it to look nice in case someday we live in the garage. So I want somebody else to do the taping. I don't like to do that. So
No, it's Bama Odam. Is it from Eureka Springs?
Oh.
And Candy Anderson Ostermiller was from Montana. Montana approved the live stream and your name will appear. I don't know what that means.
Me neither. We need to close the chat to approve members only. Yeah, I was looking at it. I don't know. I think most of the people that are coming in are people that are in our group. I'm assuming, because I didn't see a place when I deleted it. I didn't see a place where I could put they had to sign in. So I'm assuming it's people that's already in our group. So we just have to really watch. What I'm catching is if you see these girls that are like in bikinis, that's their thumbnail or their little picture. Those are usually the ones that get rid of. Look at it. If it's anybody in the the one I did today, I deleted was November of 2023 girl. And when you click on, what I usually do is go, if you're looking at our channel and you don't really have a whole lot of stuff or you don't answer the questions, I go the extra mile. I go and look for your profile because you can do that and all that. You click on the person's name and it'll open up and then it'll show you, and then you hit view their profile. If I open your profile and there's nothing in it, then you're already going to get deleted either way.
You started it like 2 months ago.
Yeah. So I look at people that way. Now I do get a lot of people that had, like I got a guy today that I okayed from 2008. He's got about 400 or 400 friends, but he doesn't really post anything. He just had a couple pictures of himself and that's it. So I look at that and say, okay, yeah, he does. I click on, you can also click on things they already belong to. So you can kind of see what it is. But a lot of times when I get the girls to come up, women and stuff will look, I kick a lot of those out because when I go to their Facebook page, I look on there and there's nothing there. It's a bunch of junk. They're looking at whatever they're doing, shopping or whatever. I don't see anything that's motorcycle related. So that's gone. So if you're a bartender or something like that and you want to get in our group, then put that down. Say, hey, when it goes up, why do you want to join our group? You're right. I'm a bartender and I work at
Suckling Blow.
Yeah. And that's why I want to get into the group. So that way we'll know and we'll put you in and things like that. But all of a sudden now, since I put the new chat in, I'm getting a lot more people and they're showing them their members. So I don't know.
Did you click on something?
Click on what?
So you got to show that they're a member. Oops. Hey,
Are
I'm
you
doing
doing
it
it?
over
No.
here. Yes.
I don't know.
Because every time you touch that, the whole thing shakes. So
Earthquake. Not here.
Dave's Crazy Trailers. There is no shortage of scammers. There's your jug. You should have grabbed it too.
Should be all right. But typically I'm pretty good about it. And a lot of you guys, because I know on our Sturgis page and YouTube and stuff, I think I got Devin from Wyatt's dad, and he's really good about it. So because a lot of times it'll come up and say, oh, there's 5 people that want to sign up, and I go, no, they're not there. So you've already deleted them. And I know
Mike's on there too.
Rider X is on there, he automatically deletes anybody that doesn't answer the questions. You don't answer the question, he don't care if you're the Pope. He's gonna delete you.
I don't think the Pope wants to be on our channel.
He might, you never know. Checking us out. Know what they're doing over here in America. Maybe he wants to have a motorcycle rally over there around the
North Georgia. Who's from North Georgia? Mark Eubanks. How about that? It's on. And your cousin Bill's on.
out there in St. Charles, Missouri.
Or Winsville. I don't know where he lives.
I think it's St. Charles. He's retired too, finally. You got to come out here. Get your motorcycle. Come out to the motorcycle rally.
I think he talked about it.
Yeah. And so that's kind of what we're going on today. We just got done with our daughter. We were out there for 3 weeks and I busted my butt. I don't know how many ceiling fans I put in and closet doors and
handles.
Fixed her. Son-in-law just bought a new truck. Not a new truck. He bought a 2016 F-150 4-wheel drive. He wanted something like mine, but he couldn't get the diesel. He couldn't afford the diesel one. So he got that and he drives down the road like this. Got one wheel and he's looking at his phone trying to steer. And I'm like, dude, you're dangerous. I said, so I'm Googling it. And he's like, I don't understand. My phone's not working. He's got an iPhone. Working, it's not working. It's not right. I said, it's not coming up on the radio. It's not saying that it does iPhone. So let me Google it. So I found it. Yes, for $56 or $60, he could get a Ford. You got to change the module. So I changed that for him, got it all working for him. So hopefully he won't drive around with his hand anymore. And so I did that.
Well, he does that so lot. He'll be driving and he'll go, oh man, did you see that back there? That thing. It was.
And our daughter's in the back seat yelling, oh, look out, look out.
He does it for like 5 minutes. He's like driving and he's like, wow, he's driving as though he's looking behind him. And I'm like, oh.
And now that's with his job. He's like a salesman for selling traffic lighting.
The people that he's been driving with said, man, you're a scary driver.
So
Neil says you'll have to listen later. He's got too much work to do.
Right. He's digging out that snow. He ain't going anywhere because he's bottlenecked in snow there. He's
Love you too, Bill.
40 inches of snow. So I don't know. We'll see how that all goes. So we got all that done.
Bob the Builder.
and like I say, I'm no expert in any of that. I was an auto mechanic, but I mean somewhat mechanically inclined.
How you doing?
So I pretty much got everything done. But I mean, part of the problem was if you get a house in Kansas, you might really want to find out who the builder is because
I'm just talking about you, Jerry.
We just found out after about the last day I was there. I was in Lowe's talking to a guy there, a contractor, and he's like, you know what the problem is here? And I'm like, first of all, I noticed there's none of the subdivisions have any signs telling you who's building the houses, like KB Homes or whoever it is. And I'm like, that's really weird. I noticed that when I first got there. I'm like, it says the name of the subdivision and it says being built, but no big name. The guy at Lowe's said the problem is it's these local contractors. Well, somebody else had told us too that local contractors, that's what they like to get the permits to. Well, they're the ones that get away with building all this crap. That half the house had plastic in the ceiling for the ceiling fans. You know, it was just, everything was just, it wasn't the closet doors were different sizes. The width was right, but the height was different on both of them. And so I had to do a modifying, put 2x4 in there. The other one I had to get some wood and shave it down to get it to fit in there. What a mess it was. And I got to put trim around it. I ain't got time for that.
They got to do that. So we were talking about the general chat that you told us about, and he was, it was, we go to church on Saturday night. So it's during church. We just had sat down and I said, here, look at this. So he's on there trying to figure it out. And there's all these porn sites popping up while we're sitting in church. And it's like, but anyway,
so
that's what we
deleted the
talked
chat.
about. Yeah.
You know, and if worse comes to worse, maybe just get rid of it. I've had the same thing on the Sturgis one. There's one about tents or something that's on there. Somebody started their own. And I don't mind that. If you're in the chat and you want to put something down, that's fine. The Sturgis one really doesn't need a chat right now because really it doesn't start getting, usually about January, people start talking video out tomorrow, thinking about rallies. Because if you're thinking about Daytona already, if you ain't got something booked, you might be in some severe trouble. I don't know. We're looking at Sturgis wise. This year will be very crowded in Sturgis, this year and next year. And why we're hearing that is because we're already hearing a lot of the campgrounds are already booking up. There's not a whole lot of spots left. Now, there's some people that have canceled and they've got to post it again. But a lot of them, when it comes to full hookups and things like that, they're gone already. So we see that the way it's looking, it's going to be a pretty good year for the 84th. And I know the 85th. Now, the Buffalo Chip's going to still announce a lot of more great concerts before, because he hasn't even told you what Saturday night is yet. You want to say something?
No. Well, they're saying Merry Christmas, and I'm like, I don't even have any of my Christmas.
Put your Christmas hat on.
I saw it somewhere.
You got it on it's in the bathroom, in the sink.
Oh, I'm too hot to have that on right now.
So yeah, so that's what we're kind of seeing for Sturgis. Now the rest of rallies, I don't know. Sturgis is doing something different, just like the city's doing. If you watch the video the other day, they're going to be bringing in American flat track racing. AMA flat track racing is going to be coming in. We don't have a lot of really know what much going on there yet. We're probably going to have to get a hold of Rod. You'll think, why would you get a hold of Rod for the Buffalo Chip? Because he knows the guy from American Flat Track. Get a contact, call the American Flat Track.
We know some people from American Flat Track.
And talk to them and find out exactly what kind of racing they're going to do. Because every time we call the city, what's happened is there used to be a guy that ran the city that took care of the rally, and his name was retired. He retired.
Jerry Coleman.
So they ended up putting Tammy in charge, not her, but another Tammy. And she used to be his kind of like his assistant and stuff. And she's a very nice girl. She's been on our channel a couple times. But there's another guy that takes care of the
sponsorships.
Yeah. And he seems to be taking the over crap. And I've heard there's a lot of people in Sturgis that don't like this guy. And
well, I've called Tammy several times because she's the event coordinator. That's her title. And I'd say, what about this? What about that? Well, I don't know. You'd probably have to talk to Lance about that. And it's like, you're the event coordinator. Why wouldn't you know about it? But
they said, well, because it's sponsorship. So I don't believe American Flat Track is paying to put it in town. I'm assuming that the city's putting up some money to set up, to do a track. And then the American Motorcycle Association is coming out to do the races. Now they may bring all the equipment to do what they have to do, the announcing and all the different. I don't know. We haven't talked to them yet to see how that goes, but I don't think it's free, and I don't think they're paying to come there. So it's like Daytona, they don't do the flat track there, and I don't believe that American Flat Track's paying to be in the track. So we'll see. We'll find out. Maybe we'll make some calls next week and see what we can find out about this race and what's going to be. Originally, we talked to the city, and if you watch the video, you've seen that they were saying that it was going to be, they were going to have all kinds of bikes. And they were going to try to get people from Europe and all this stuff to come over and be involved.
Locals, or if you were there visiting.
So I don't know,
because
you're not going to me, unless they make it, kind of like the F1 that they had down in Las Vegas, where it's part of the circuit and it's bringing people through there. I could see it. I think it's going to be bad that it's on Sunday. I don't know, because especially like most people that travel to Sturgis, they pull out on Sunday and that's when they're going home. So,
and another thing is they keep thinking, why is everybody leaving so early? They're leaving Wednesday. There used to be a second crowd that came in, but there's not anymore. But I think it's because the schools are starting earlier. So people have to leave. They have to get home to get their kids in school. Mindy's on.
So that's the part I don't know about, but because it's like, see, the Buffalo Chip's done that this year. If you notice, he's announced his 2 biggest concerts Tuesday and Thursday. Kid Rock has, I've looked in the past, he did do a Tuesday a long time ago. But typically the last few years that we've known he's been there, he's always been on the Saturday. He's always been the headliner on Saturday. So now the Buffalo Chip's kind of looking at the same thing. Let's get a way that we get people to stay a little longer or maybe come later. Get
well,
that
last
second.
year their biggest concert was Thursday, the Def Leppard concert.
Yeah. But see, Rod was really Woody. His real name's Rod Woodruff, but his nickname's Woody. So sometimes we may call him either name. And so he was scared to death last year of Def Leppard. He was afraid that there wouldn't be a crowd. He was afraid that the jump wasn't going to bring anybody in. He was just terrified of that. And we kept telling him, that's what we're hearing. Everybody's excited about the jump and everybody's excited about Def Leppard. And it was. That was their biggest night. Now, last year, they kind of sucked. They didn't have as good a concerts as they normally do. So we'll see what happens. I'm really excited that they've got Jelly Rolls there. We had tons of people, tons and tons and tons of people asked for that last year.
Not just last year.
And so, and he told, I don't know how they got him. And so he's there, Kid Rock's back again. And that's a good rocker. He always brings a good crowd.
That's the Veterans Day. That's going to be Thursday. So
Yeah.
that their freedom celebration, they call it. And they honor all the vets that serve.
They give a bike away during that time. They give an electric wheelchair. The company that's out there, they give a chair away to a veteran. And it's a whole special thing that they do on Thursday, which is great. If you're there, that's great to see that. So they're pretty excited about that. And so we'll see what else he's got for concerts. A lot of people ask for the same concerts that he had last year. He never brings back a band 2 years in a row. Now, there was an exception last year. He had Leonard Skinner from the year before, but I made that happen because he had said on the video when he was talking to them that, oh, yeah, next year's going to be our 50th anniversary. We'd love to come back here. And Rod said, oh, yeah, I'll have you guys back. So then when we talked about it at the beginning of the year, I said, you're definitely going to, I said, I know one band you're going to have. And he's like, who? I said, Leonard Skinner. And he says, why would you think I'd have him? Because you said that. And he thought, oh, did I? Oh, I guess I better make a phone call. So we'll see.
Let me write that down.
But I mean, I'm not tickled with Travis Tritt. I'm not a Travis. We've seen Travis Tritt. We don't think he does a very good show.
He's not what he used to be.
No. And
Ask Mindy.
Aaron Lewis is next. I don't really know what Aaron Lewis thinks. I don't know. Is he an 80s guy or is he a newer guy? Aaron Lewis.
Don't know.
I
didn't know who that Jody Party was either, and he sings a lot of good songs.
So I don't know. So we'll see what happens with the Buffalo Chip. Right now the Full Throttle is just now asking your subscribers, hey, what would you guys like to hear? And everybody asks for the same stupid bands every year. Sundown, Showdown, whatever they're called. Shine Down. And bands
Saliva, Tesla, Puddle of Mud.
Over and over and over and over and over. But yeah, when you go to those concerts, they're not packed. So they're not the biggest crowd,
Yes. Jelly Roll is coming.
Yes.
He's booked.
Tuesday.
But Snoop Dogg was supposed to be there too, and he never showed up.
Jelly Roll will come up. He's not a Snoop Dogg. And so Jelly Roll will be there, and I think it's going to be really exciting that he's there. And I don't see any cancellation unless he gets sick or dies. I don't see anything happening. So he'll be there just like Kid Rock. Kid Rock talked about it last year. I can't believe he wasn't there because he was so excited last year about going. See what happens with these concerts is, which one of the things that Rod told us is like AC/DC.
Choices on too.
We called him up and said, hey, AC/DC is who you guys should hire. And he's like, let me tell you. They use the books.
Live Nation.
So they do all the tickets. So anybody that's already doing tours and you're seeing you have to buy tickets from Live Nation isn't coming to anywhere in Sturgis because they want to sell the tickets. So that's how they make their money.
So what the Buffalo Chip does is they hire the bands and they don't sell concert tickets. They sell camping passes. And with your camping pass, you get all the stuff that goes on at the Buffalo Chip and you get the concerts for free. That's the way they word it, and that's the way they do it. That's why it goes off that way.
And the other reason they do that is because a lot of bands want so much of the ticket price. That's what they want. Well, in this case, you can't do it. And then also people always say, well, how many people are at the concert? Well, you can't calculate. You can count how many people came through the gate. You can see how many people bought passes that are camping, but you don't really know, are they all there? Well, of course they're not because they're in other places in town too. You might think Jelly Roll, I don't want to hear Jelly Roll. I don't even know who he is. I don't listen to country music and I never listen to rap music. So last year when people started first asking for him, I had to look for him because I was like, Jelly Roll, who the hell is a Jelly Roll? He looks like a Jelly Roll. It's kind of like Meatloaf for you old people that knew about Meatloaf. But Meatloaf was called that because his dad called him a Meatloaf. So
like Meathead?
Yeah.
That's your sister.
Yeah. Oh. And gotta put my jug up there.
Snowless Minnesota. How about that? When are you coming down this way, Craig, next year? Or this year coming up? You should be coming down soon. So Doug was coming, but he just got high.
Yeah, what's her name? Held him up.
Yeah. Martha Stewart.
Yeah, she had him. Oh, just let you know, we are all set up finally with Mecum. I don't know what these people at Mecum. I don't know. I finally, because the guy writes and goes, and who are you? And I'm like, dude, we've been going there for 2 years. I said, we talked to this girl, and she's the girl that's in charge. And I said, whatever. So going back and forth. So we asked for 4 passes because 2 other people are supposed to come, and we'll see. I don't think they will. But he's like, why do you need that? Don't you just shoot everything with your phones? I said, no, we have microphones, stuff. And I didn't realize it was the same guy that
because he kept saying, this guy is giving us
this guy's hassled us twice. Every year we're there, he hassles. Like, first year, he's like, and who are you people? It's got me on the pass. Hello? Who the hell are you? So, and then this time, because she finally asked me, who the heck do you keep emailing back and forth? I know some guy named blah, blah, blah. And she goes, that's the guy that always questions us all the time. He ought to know who we are. Who knows? So I was like, so he finally said, all right, you got 4 passes. So I don't know, because he's like, well, I'm assuming he was just thinking the other 2 people could just pay for the weekend pass and they could film that way. And I'm like, well, if they're working and giving you free advertising, they should get in. And so, because we've got one of our subscribers on here said he's got 25 people coming. And I told him, we have 25 of our subscribers showing up to buy bikes next week. That's in
January, end of January.
If you think about coming to Vegas, we'll be there during that time, whatever dates those are.
I think it's like
we're there the full week, I think.
25th, 24th through the 27th, I think, something like that.
So we'll be in Las Vegas during that time. And that'll kick off our videos for the year. Start doing that. They had another thing. It's called off-road bikes. I couldn't get in there last year, but we find out one of the people that is one of our contact people that help us get in things. She went there. So I don't know if we'll have time to go before we go to Daytona. We have to watch the weather like we always do because it snows in Texas. We ain't getting stuck in that anymore. So last year we did it without no problem. And you got to call the guy to make sure we got someplace to stay too. So the monkey said, he wrote me the other day and said he's already booked at Cackleberry. He's all ready to go for Daytona. Yep. So he's already going. Hopefully he'll get there earlier than he did last year. Last year got kind of screwed. Tuesday or Wednesday, he finally showed up. Oh, damn thing's half over by the time you get there. Got to get there the weekend. So we'll see what happens.
You never know. So Craig's coming down later this month. He's the one that was in Vegas. We saw him in Vegas during Mecum, and then he went to Courtside
in Utah,
Minnesota. And he came by and saw the shop, and then he went down to Courtside afterwards. Remember?
Yeah. So other than that, I haven't done a whole lot other than tearing the house up. So
we got to get it all put together before Wednesday.
So getting close. Oh well, mainly we got to take all the junk to the dump. Then we got to take all the stuff to the shop and put it away. And then we got to make a big trip to the giveaway store. Goodwill.
I want to take it to church, most of it. Next Saturday.
Ain't got time. They'll be here and gone by next Saturday.
All right. It's behind the Mustang.
We got a bunch of junk. You're going to be driving the Mustang. You're wearing the battery down. I got to put all hooked up. I'm supposed to be driving that car.
Yeah, you're going to buy me new tires?
They're fine if you're staying in town. Call if you have a flat. We have free road service. We've been paying for it.
And what are they going to do? Are you going to get a free tire?
Put your spare on.
I don't know. I don't think so.
Then we'll buy tires if you need it.
I need work here. You can help. I don't know. Well, it's just for the 2 of us. We each have a closet in our bedroom, and then there's 2 closets in the other 2 bedrooms, and one's a big walk-in closet. All of those were just full of clothes. I told him we never, ever need to go shopping again. We have got so many clothes. It's ridiculous. None fit, but we got a lot of clothes.
I brought this old shirt out.
What is it?
The Dirty Harry shirt, I think.
Yeah.
I found that this morning.
We can sleep on top of everything, which you might have to.
No, the bedrooms are pretty well. The bedrooms, other than my editing room, I got the bed half cleaned off now. So once I get this video done.
But if you have anything to hang up, you're in the closet.
We're trying to get that because in case you need it, since you wanted to take something, she found out about the dry cleaner.
I wrote him and told him about it.
So if you wanted to hang something up, and
we're waiting for Bob and Tam's bike rally in Arizona.
I know. We'll have to see if Steven always said that. He
Yeah.
wanted to come out for a bike rally, turn it into a dealership.
It was way expensive. Oh, Rod. So, Rod, what I would tell you for your payment in Sturgis is they're new people. So I don't know if they're going to ask you for a payment or send you a thing saying you got to pay the second half. Because if you're staying at Kathmandu, you pay half of it when you book, and then you pay half of it in January. I know, but that's what he said. Will I get a payment? Will they ask for it? I would just pay it whenever you think about it in January and say, I want to pay my second.
Because a lot of them don't, I don't think they ever send you a payment. I think it's
I don't remember ever.
If they send an email out, I mean, Buffalo Chip's the same way. All the places, if you don't pay up by that time, you lose your money. Now there, I don't think you would, but because they're new and they're trying to figure it all out. What?
Sounds like a busy signal.
Calling somebody?
I don't know. I got none of my phones.
So we'll see what all happens. But I mean, I don't see a problem. They're new people. They're trying to get everything figured out, what they're doing. They're very nice. We've talked to them several times on the phone. Neil's been upset because he's been wanting them. He's volunteering to help them the week before the rally starts to try to save some money on that first week. And so they said, yeah, but he never gave him a price. So he's been sweating. And I said, don't worry about it till after the first of the year. If they haven't contacted you by then we'll give them a call and see what's going on. I said, because right now they probably don't know what the hell they're going to do before the rally, because they're going to be open now. They're going to open up on before Memorial Day, and they're going to be open
Memorial Day through Labor Day.
They'll be open before that. If you're going to have people come in on Friday, you got to be open before. Memorial Day is on Monday, so why would I waste that weekend?
Well, Memorial Day weekend. It's not like they're going to open May 5th.
No, but I'm saying they're probably going to open maybe the week before. I don't know, because if I was coming out there for Memorial Day, I might want to get there the week before.
So, Rod, if you want to go to Windy Acres in Daytona, if you want to boondock. Ooh, did you see that?
Yeah, it's plugged in, isn't it?
Yeah. What does it say at the top?
I don't see nothing at the top.
Oh, I guess it's just a red thing. Anyway, not Windy Acres. Crazy Horse.
Crazy Horse.
Crazy Horse in Daytona, but you boondock there. They have a couple of spots, but it depends on how long you stay. But that's what I would suggest.
What you do is you can get your generator there. You can run a generator. They've got bathhouse. It's really clean. We did a video on it a while back. The problem we have, we don't stay there because they only get a license for, like, they get to open, I think, Thursday before the rally, and they have to be, everybody's got to be out on the Monday after the rally there. And but it's a really cool place. It's all grassy. It's not a lot of shade. You ain't gonna get much shade anywhere you stay. Cackleberry is just a pit hole of anything. I wouldn't stay at Cackleberry. Just like across the street, you can stay at Cabbage Patch too. That's kind of back in the woods and stuff. It's like take your life in your own hands by going back there with your trailer.
Well, that's really shady.
Oh yeah. It
depends on how big your trailer is. You'd really have a hard time getting it back.
But a lot of those ones, like now Crazy Horse down there, they don't take any reservations.
Yeah, so don't try to call. Don't try to.
Well, you can call and see if he's got any full hookups, but I'm going to bet he doesn't have anything available. Because normally it's the same. He's only got, like, I don't know, 20 spots there. I don't think they're even full hookup. I think they're just electric and water. I'm not thinking they got any sewer. So they're electric and water, and I think they got a dump station there someplace. We'll have to watch our video. I just found it too, finally. I've been looking all over it, and it was listed as something else. So I found the video of that.
So he says he'll check Crazy Horse. So that's why I said, if you can call and see if they've got full hookups, and then say, I want to, if they don't, then you can say, I want to dry camp, and then they don't take reservations. If this guy's got pasture after pasture after pasture.
He never, which is the last couple of years we've been doing videos for him. He's been filling up farther and farther, but he says, I'd never turn anybody away. Nobody. And it's not a bad place. I would stay there, but we'd have to take the trailer and move it in there and move it out. We were going to look at, what we wanted to do is get there early, and we were going to use his full hookups, maybe a couple of weeks before the rally, and we would move over to the other section and pay him whatever. And he's like, he's got permits. He can only be open Biketoberfest and Bike Week is the only times he can be the campground part. He's actually owns
races too.
I think the 500 he can, but not anything else. But I think because the race you have to get out on a Monday, so then it's another week before you can get back in again. So, but he's a really nice guy. That's the same guy that manages the flea market there. It's right down the corner. So you're right there on the corner of Chamaka Road and
International Speedway.
So it's really a nice place to be, because if you want to go down to Cackleberry, you can go down there and fight the traffic and get down there on the night and come back. versus traveling like us. We stay at somebody's house, hopefully still alive, and Port Orange.
I need to call him, tell him happy Merry Christmas.
Yeah, and make sure he's going to be good about us coming back again. We do have another place we can stay. 160 Biker Chicks has some property that she'll let us stay on, but she doesn't always get down there early enough that we get there. So I don't want to go down there when she's not there. And because last year she wanted us to move over there, and I was like,
October.
What?
Pride King says he's going to do Windy Acres in October. You're not going to do it in the spring? Because they've got relatives that live in Leesburg or Eustis. Because they're not having one in the fall anymore. They're just doing the one in the spring now, aren't they?
Who?
Leesburg.
Yes. No, they still do.
Just Gator.
Gator does their thing, but I don't know if Windy Acres.
He says we're doing Windy Acres in October.
I guess you have to see. I guess that's where the monkey stays. He went there. He was there for 3 or 4 days. So I'm assuming that's where he stayed too. We might be there for the spring, but we're not the fall. Just doesn't justify us to come back for fall rallies. They're just not that long. They're not that good of content viewers, and so we're not doing the fall. And then we're going to see how this all year goes. We're going to talk to Teddy while we're down there. You know, maybe if Teddy says something, maybe we'll be back for the fall rally and Oktoberfest. But Leesburg and stuff. The only reason we do Leesburg, I like Leesburg. It's really not a bad rally. But if I was coming just for Leesburg, I wouldn't do it. We do it because we're there. It's in between that and Panama City. I like Panama City, but we don't know next year what we're going to do. Just once depends a lot on gas and what's going on and all that kind of great stuff. So,
as I said, if we do start the bike builds, it would have to be then after Sturgis. So because when he wants to get to Sturgis sometime in June, and we're not getting back from the East Coast until what?
Well, if you stop at Mindy's, you're going to be there.
So
we're not going to get back till
June,
probably Labor Day weekend. We'll be traveling. Memorial Day weekend we'll be traveling. So yes, I was looking at some bikes when we were in Kansas, and that didn't work out. And so I've looked at a few that's out in Phoenix, and they're not going for a bad price. So we're got to figure that all out. We still got to get out to Red Rock Harley Davidson out in Vegas. They said they would work with us. I don't know if he means by giving us the bikes or if I got to buy them. So we'll see what's going to happen there. So the main thing I was waiting for is kind of a lift. I can't be kneeling over all that, trying to work on a bike. So that'll help a lot. So that hopefully we'll have a lift here in a couple of weeks. We'll find out probably Monday or Tuesday. The guy will call me back and let me know what the shipping company is and how they're going to get here. And then I'll have to ask about if we got to have a lift out there to lift it out of the back of the truck. So we'll see how that all turns out. And so we'll get that and get that all hooked up and get it all running. I really need a bigger compressor. Compressor I got it probably will work, but I really need a bigger one. So we should have looked around like that when we were at the SEMA show. That's what he said. Next year is going to be all different. We're going to spend all of our time looking for neat stuff to get and neat stuff to talk about. I think I get some stuff in my truck, which we haven't called that lady yet, and talk to her about getting some sway bars for the front. I think it'd be kind of neat to have.
And I don't know if you need to get that soon. You still got to do the rest of because are you going to put them on before you leave?
I don't know.
And we got to get the boat fixed up. I want Jim to sell that while we're gone.
You got to get busy, lady.
I can't do much more during the day.
Things just too much other crap. We got some quads back here I want to get rid of. And she said, well, you ought to be out there working on them. And I'm like, who's going to be doing all this in here? I really wanted to get the garage, the drywall, and the bathroom up before, because I can't put the shower in until they paper the back of the drywall back behind it because it goes above it. So I got to get all that done before I do that. So bathroom all works. Got a toilet, got a sink, all that's working. And so got to use the bathroom on while you're here. We got you fixed up. You don't have to go outside and go behind the building. Watch the neighbor looking over.
No bushes. Everybody can see you.
You just look around like you're doing something. Never know. Got to do what you got to do. Get it by. We're like out here in the country, in the rocks. The rock store. Yeah. You can sell rocks. So we tell people when you go to the rock store, they're like, we're selling rocks. I got a whole yard full. If you want to buy some, come on down.
A lot of people that come out from out east or the Midwest are like, there's no grass out here. And it's like, you got rocks and sand. That's about
Well, there's people that do have grass, but it's hard to keep a lot of watering and why waste it? So rocks are a lot easier. This year I didn't even have to do it. Usually I spray the yard so we don't get any weeds
You
popping
did
up.
it because when we got back, remember, they were a mess.
I don't remember.
The yard was a mess. Because we didn't do it about a year before. You usually do it spring and fall, but so 6 is on. Did you get your HVAC in yet? No,
Nope, that's what Ron's doing on Wednesday.
Well, XN Biker also wanted to know why we weren't doing this from the shop.
Oh, because we've been working on the house. So we haven't had any chance to get over there. We haven't done anything. I just went over there, got the family truckster out. Can't believe that. I had to get a new battery. Freaking battery now is over $200. I used to sell these things for like 39, 49 bucks back in the 80s. What the hell's going on with batteries?
That's 50 years ago. 40.
Just nuts.
40.
Just nuts. I just couldn't believe that. But the last one I bought, I think I paid like $125 for it 3 or 4 years ago. That was in California. So you'd think here would have been a little cheaper. And I was like, I gotta have it, I guess. They said, well, how much time has this one had? I said, I don't know. When I looked at the post on the side was 10 of 19. So probably December or something. We probably bought it October or November, December of 2019. And it's supposed to be a 5-year battery. But if you know anything about warranty and batteries, once they get over 3 years old, you're not going to get any money for it anyway because they jack the price back up to retail price when they warranty it. I know that because we used to sell batteries. So that was a shocker this week. Had to do.
Batteries suck. No lead plants left. Only recycle crap.
But you can't even recycle the lithium batteries anymore. Or you never could.
What did you need the battery for?
The family truckster.
It's a 2004 Ford Expedition, and we call it the family truckster. That's the vehicle we got to pull the boat in and out of the water because the boat's heavy.
I drove it a lot back and forth from California. This thing had about 90,000 on it. It's got 179,000 on it now. And really haven't done a whole lot to it. It's got one of those, Ford's got those motors where the plugs are way down. It blew one of them out. I had to get fixed. But
what kind of batteries do you have? She needs 4 batteries for her RV. It's like,
well, those batteries are a little bit better price. I end up buying
at the Battery Plus store, didn't you?
No, did I go there or did I go to Sam's and get them? I mean, Walmart. I don't know. I think I might have gone to the battery store. It's called Battery Plus. They're all over the place. I end up getting them there. What you want to do is look at your batteries and make sure you get what you want. That you look at the cranking power, the storage, and all that. Now, see, what I've got is I run 6-volt batteries and I run them in
parallel.
Yeah. So they run 12. They're 12-volt batteries. So that way I have more. Because like us, we can run the batteries. I can run the heater all night long and never have to be plugged in. But we have solar on the roof. It's only 200 watts. So we can't really.
It'll charge them during the day. If sun's out.
Yeah. Or we run the generator for a few minutes before we go to bed and runs the lights and all that. But that's what I use. But I think I paid about somewhere between 100 and 125 bucks a piece for the batteries. And those are only guaranteed 1 year. They're commercials, like commercial batteries or whatever they call them. Not commercial, but they only have a 1-year warranty. It's like if you buy an ATV battery, it's only got a 1-year warranty on it. But this last time it lasted us about 3 years, which is not bad. And then I get the ones that are sealed so that you don't have to put water in them. That's the ones I get. Because that's a pain in the butt.
So not the 8. What are those other ones called?
I don't know. You have to look them all up. It's been too long for me to remember all that.
But we thought we had those and we didn't. We just had regular batteries. Working on solar panels for the trailer ride, King says.
Fun. Mm-hmm. Just make sure if you're doing that, because if you put lithium batteries in it, you got to change the charging system and everything else. Because if you watch The Professional Monkey, I told him, and he wouldn't listen, that you just can't throw lithium batteries in a regular trailer because lithium batteries have to be charged more. So if you just have a regular charging system in your RV, it's only going to charge it to like 80%. So like he did, someplace he went with it and his batteries all died. He's like, I don't understand. I said, I told you. And about 10 other people told him the same thing too, that you can't do that. You just can't throw lithium batteries in an RV. I'm really wondering how our cars are doing that, where a lot of people like motorcycles now. Amsoil Adams sells motorcycle batteries that are lithium. You put a lithium battery in there, if the charging system was only set to charge it at 13 volts, is it getting the battery back to maximum charge? I don't know. I would say no, but don't know. Unless you got an alternator that's going to charge more. But usually most alternators have a regulator in it that's only going to regulate it so much. battery
So
health.
higher voltage.
Yeah.
Higher volts.
Yeah. To get it to that peak. But you want to make sure it turns off too, because you don't want it to just max it out at 18 volts and then find out it smoked your batteries. So I never got into all that. When I sat down and tried to figure, well, the trailer came with 200 watts on the roof, and that's worked good. We were going to go out and get, I don't know what we were going to get.
A lot. It was going to cost like $10,000 or $20,000
for the batteries and everything. And it was like, we're going to have like,
system
and it was like, you know, when I sat down and figured out $10,000, I could buy a lot of gas for my generator. And we don't end up boondocking like we thought we would. We thought we were going to do that. We thought we'd go to the Grand Canyon, we'd stay out in the woods and do all that. Well, we don't. We do this instead. We do motorcycle rallies. So we do use a generator when we travel. If we stop at a Walmart or Bass Pro Shop or wherever we're stopping at, we kick the generator on for an hour or so, and she cooks something in the microwave, and we watch a little TV, and then we turn it off. But most of the time, we could probably go almost the whole, unless we're running it. Unless it's really cold and I'm running it because of that, or hot, we're in the air, we can probably go all the way. Most of our rallies, we could probably get away with one full tank of gas, which is 36 gallons of gas. But I also take gas out of
generator. That. Troops on.
The troops in the house. We were going to bring you guys on, but we're all messed up and the house is a mess, and we came on at the last minute. So I don't have the earbuds. We don't have all the stuff set up to bring people on.
You're lucky that the computer's on and we have microphones on.
Yeah. Well, Troop had a big problem last week or the other day. He lost his internet, it blew over or something. High winds, he was off. There was more he had more people on there for a while. When he wasn't on, it was a black screen. Everybody's talking, and that's when I came on. He was on for a second, then he disappeared, and I'm like, okay, I've been watching. I didn't say nothing. I was just watching, and he went off. And then I was like, what are we talking about tonight? And they're like, oh, he got a new bike. He got a 2019 Road King. And looks really nice.
Mine's on.
And so he was showing that bike and talking about that, and everybody was talking about that. So we were talking, I don't know how long he was off. And then he came back, and
I'm back.
Yeah. And so yeah, everybody kept staying there, and they were just chatting away. And a lot of people were on there. And,
mine's gonna come to Daytona. How about that? That's cool. We'll see you there. You'll have to I don't know if we ever switched phone numbers or not with you, Mon. I don't remember.
Email us.
Yeah.
So click up on the top.
You gotta go to banners. Is it banners? Which
Yeah.
one's email? This one?
Probably that one. Yep.
Never
So
mind.
you can write us here, and we'll exchange phone numbers. We have a YouTube phone number.
Yep.
For the YouTube business here, and we keep giving out a personal one in case someday we
People love the train wreck. That's why they like my life.
Could be. You had a lot of people on the other night. You had like 50 or 60 people on. I was like,
cool.
wow, he's really doing. Because sometimes we don't even have that many on now. They like, and I know it's football night, so we thought, what the hell? I just want to do a live
Does
because
it
we're.
say 46?
I don't know.
You got the glasses. I'm too far away.
I don't even see where it's at.
Over there. 46.
I don't even see. Oh, there it is. I'm losing my place. It's just been a real mess this week too, because we have the house is totally disaster.
Okay, cool, thanks. There you go.
And
I'll put it up again real quick in case you didn't get it.
there it is again. So we'll see what happens. I know a lot of the other YouTubers are starting to, with the gas prices and all this stuff's costing so much that a lot of people are stepping back and saying, we're not going to cover the rallies anymore. And which makes it tough. I'd like to do that. The one that Monkey goes, and I think Troop went to that too, the smoke out one.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be a neat rally to go to, but it's kind of the same thing. It's kind of in between to where we'd have to drive. That's what sucks. We're all the way on the Arizona. We're almost on the California border here, to where it's a long haul to get back over that way. And because heck, just going to our daughter's house was 1,200 miles just go to Kansas. And that was just Kansas. It wasn't like anything far. So it's like everything, I was looking at going down to an auction down in Texas.
2 10-hour days of driving. It was a long time.
And we took a little red truck, and it had 178,000 on it. So I didn't want to push it. So we kept about 65, 70 at the most, because I was like, this truck actually never had driven my whole time I've ever owned that little truck. It has never driven that far in 2 days. And which I've taken it when I was union president, or worked for the union. I was a representative. I was regional officer, and I traveled a lot with that. And because I had a big area out in Southern California that I covered, so it would be I'd rack 500 miles up in a day. I'd do 250 out to Palm Desert or down to El Central. I went all the way down to the Mexican border for the union, and that was a 2-day trip. And so I did things like that. And so I put a lot of the miles on that. And then when we moved out here and she was still living back there, or when she lived here and I worked back there, I drove the family truckster that we have, drove it a lot back and forth. And so now the little big truck's getting a lot of miles on it. So we bought the little Ranger we got now, bought a new Ranger, not a new to us, 2020. I can't believe how expensive stuff is. We put $10,000 on this truck and still got a $400 payment a month. I don't know how anybody's buying these $40,000, $50,000, $100,000 trucks. I don't know how anybody can afford that. I don't know. I don't get it. After I thought about it, we probably should have just been this little truck. We should have probably just leased it for 3 years. I could have got down to like $325 a month. It would have had the warranty on it, other than doing oil changes and maybe a set of tires in that time. Probably wouldn't have spent any other money on the thing instead of paying something for it. And probably this truck will be the same thing. It'll probably last us a lifetime.
Well, we've had the little red truck since 2003. Yeah. So it's 20 years old. I mean, it's never really had any problems. Oh. Our grandson was very happy. I don't know. Some of you are on Facebook and follow us. There was pictures of him with his little red truck. And
I buffed it all out. It had never been waxed. I don't wax anything that I own. I take it to the car wash and squirt the stuff on it. I don't buff anything out. I don't do it. So I did. I went down to Harbor Freight. I got a cheap ass buffer, which actually did pretty good. And I bought their compound that they sell, which is that
McGuire's.
Yeah, McGuire's. And I didn't get the heavy duty stuff, but it did a pretty good job. I was very impressed with the stuff. It was a lot better than I thought it would do. And because I thought the family truckster, it's a mess. The paint's all cracking on the hood. I said I ought to do that, but it took me like 2 days to buff that little red truck out. So I don't know.
Well, you got to watch. You're not supposed to do it over any plastic parts, so the handles kind of look all buffed out. But I was gonna get some like shoe polish and try to make them nice and pretty. But every time you open it, you probably get a black hand. So I didn't do it. But he's happy. He's got a little car to drive, or a little truck to drive now. So did you see that? Jerry's in Tennessee. He says his gas is down to $2.50 for regular and $3.35 for diesel. We just went by. Where'd we go? Was it today? Was it last night? Oh, last night went by Smith's, which is usually not too bad, but it was like $4 something for diesel, wasn't it? $4.
Yeah, because right now our Sam's is like was $2.93 for unleaded. Now it's back up to $2.99, and then the diesel was $3.57, I think it was. Which I'm not driving the diesel truck, so we're not putting in gas. It's a full tank that's in it. So I'm driving the little truck.
Rates? We got 6.
Yeah.
For the truck, and then our son-in-law. Well, I guess I didn't do too bad, and our daughter for the house got under 6.
No.
Or under 7, 6 something, but they did have to buy points down. Southern Illinois is $3.39 for 87 octane and just over $4 for diesel.
Okay, which is typically the cheapest place always is Oklahoma. So if gas would stay down, like I say, when we back when we started this in 2020, we were paying $1.87 for diesel gas, and which was But I mean, there was even places when we went out that year. I was looking all over. We got the Gas Buddy to look at the prices and stuff. And there was a couple of stations in Oklahoma that were 99 cents for unleaded gas. It's like, man, we ought to cut up there and go through Oklahoma and get gas and come back down. But I probably would have wasted that much gas to get there. Would have been big savings. But as long as it doesn't get, if it stayed around $3.50, it wouldn't be so bad.
Well, when we went to Laconia, wasn't it?
It was $5. It was $4.99 a gallon.
$5.99. We never paid over $6, but $5.99 a gallon for diesel.
And that was insane.
That was up around New York.
Yeah, and that was insane. And it's like to say, I don't know what's going on.
I don't think it's been getting better next year with the election and everything going on.
Well, if you look at very interesting thing that came up in our TV, our Channel 5 News out of Phoenix, put this article up the other day, and they did a news story on it too. This guy's got a 2016 Prius. No. 20. I have to look at my phone.
Yeah, I don't know what it was.
Let me look and see what the car was, because the whole story will depend on what he originally paid for the car.
Well, he paid $16,000.
Yeah, but I mean, I got to see what the car was.
What year it was?
Yeah, let me look on it, because I put it on my Facebook page, because I thought one daughter loves electric cars, and
That's good. When we were in Kansas, the price seemed a little high to us, and it went down as we were there, but which was shocking because it was getting closer and closer to Thanksgiving, because we got there the beginning of November and we left first.
Okay, here it is. Let me look and see what he paid. So this happened on December 8th. Whoops, let me turn it down. I didn't want you to hear the story. He's got a 2014 Infinity hybrid. So it's got 70,000 miles on it. And what happened was he went out after work, hit the key, and it did nothing. So he called the dealership and said, hey, can you come get my car? See what's wrong with it. Took it to the dealership, popped the hood on
Why
it.
didn't he just get them finished paying it off?
No, the warranty just went out. He paid cash for the car.
Oh.
He had a extended warranty and it ran out. So they said, you need a hybrid battery. It's going to cost you $18,000 for the battery and $2,000 to have it installed. And the guy said, oh my God, my jaw dropped to the ground, he said. And he says, I only paid 3 years ago, I only paid $16,000 for the car. And I paid it off. So now he's got a car, which it is. You know, I've heard stories, crazy stories about that. Like somebody had a Prius that was down in Florida. You might have heard that story. But the problem is these manufacturers now, if the car, once it hits over 10 years old, they don't have to sell you any parts anymore. So the same thing with Harley Davidsons and everyone, pretty much everything is out there now. So like this guy that had this Prius, which was an older one. It was one of the first Priuses came out electric. The dealership says, I don't have a battery. You got to go to the aftermarket. Well, the aftermarket wanted $30,000 for a car that's worth maybe $5,000. So that's the problem when you start looking at these cars, trucks, and everything else that have lithium batteries. They're expensive. It's just like the Tesla one. You know, he's selling his truck for $99,000, which doesn't sound like a bad deal for the setup that he's got. But heck, if it's going to cost me $50,000 for a battery in 4 years or 10 years from now, is the vehicle still going to be worth that kind of money? Like this guy here with this Infinity, he's like, I got to do it. I got no other choice than to put batteries in it or I'm going to junk the car. And the car they had it on the internet, the video that I watched. It's a nice looking car. It didn't have any scratches in it. It was very clean. But now he's 20,000. He's going to have to drive the car. Hopefully it'll last another 70,000 miles to get his money back out of the car. But I mean, it sucks. And same thing with, I work for a natural gas company. If you're an electric person, that's great. There is nothing in this world that can make enough electricity to supply even 10% of the cars in the United States, keeping them charged all the time. That's why you have to rely on natural gas. You have to rely on coal, whatever it is, something has to make the energy. There's not enough sun. There's not enough wind. There's not enough water to generate that much power. And someday they'll all figure it out that it's not going to work.
Well, who does the gas company's biggest customer in California?
Edison. It was
The
the
electric
electric company.
company.
They buy to run their turbines to make. That's why what happens. If you see your gas bill goes up, you know your electric bill is going to go up because that's where they make 90% of their powers. Well, it's probably about 75% or 80%. California did it a while back. They had this article. They said, we shut the whole system down and our backup solar system held up. 1/10 of a second, they left it off. Surprising, huh? By the time the guy could flip the switch up, flipped it back down.
And it didn't crash.
But they made all this big article about it and all that. And I did the research and I was like, I think it's like 3 seconds they left it on. But it's like, that's just insane.
I think, where does CC live? Do you live up in Wisconsin? He's got a 2010 Ford Ranger and he loves it. His name's Rusty.
The car's named Rusty? Or
yeah.
Yep. We had a 75 Chevy full size, a C10 half ton. And the fenders rusted off it. I had to put new fenders on it. And I don't know if there's anything else I did, but
what was a red truck? What was that?
A 78 3/4 ton. That was
Fred
all laid
Flintstone
up.
Car.
It was all laid up.
When you drove, you could see the ground below you as you were driving.
That Coronet was the one that was the rusted. You couldn't put nothing in the trunk because it slid out the sides. Got to keep a spare in the back seat.
We just got a new election box, but don't really like it.
So yeah, it's people need to make sure you get out and vote.
Canada. He's from Canada. So I'm sure they use.
It's the salt that does it. It's because like when we used to live in Southern Illinois, they quit using salt. They put cinders on the road.
I like that. Made it snow all year.
Well, it's about getting you traction. Now, when we lived up north, closer to Chicago, I could run chains on my truck. And well, once I put chains on the back of my truck, oh my gosh, that was like night and day. I would pull up to a stop sign. I'd pull the emergency brake lever and I just push down on the emergency brake pedal, and the back tires would lock up and just drag to a stop. It made it rough for the people behind you because they'd be going down rough.
Yeah, but you'd get in trouble if you didn't take them off. If there was no snow on the road.
Well, tear your tires up too. So used to do that. Used to have chains, and that's when I had my gas station. Same as a service truck. So, yep. So that's kind of what's going on. So we're going to get the central air conditioner hooked up this week. That should all get hooked up. We're going to be making a trip to Vegas on Wednesday. And then I don't know if they're going, is he still on? If you're going on Friday night back to Vegas, or we're going to take you Saturday morning.
I don't remember.
Hopefully
Well,
Saturday
the fight they want to go to is Saturday. So I don't know.
Easier to go Saturday morning versus getting in there Friday night. It'd be chaos. Believe me, Vegas. So who's on? Somebody else is on. Can't wait for Sturgis to get in.
They said, Jerry says, I hate to say this, but they hacked into it again. Don't people have anything better to do?
No. Why did they?
That's what he just, I guess he just, Andrew Hill's on. He says, hello, Bob and Tam. Can't wait for Sturgis to get here. I know it'll be here before you know it. All this stuff comes around so fast. So I was going to look for Ron, and he told us when because he wanted to go to that fight.
You need to keep talking while I'm looking.
All right. So let's see who else said. Rowan's on. Good day from Ballarat.
Time is it over there?
Papa Tim. I'd probably say it's like 2:00 in the morning. I guess. I don't know. I could ask my phone. When did they? Yeah, Friday the 15th. He wants to go back. Pick us up on the 13th, 14th. You can drop us off in Vegas on Friday the 15th. So Friday they want to go up there.
So we want to look at, because like here, it looks like somebody took off.
Oh, that's what he says.
Claudia's. That might have been the one I did. And you want to go back and look and make sure they're not.
Noon. Rowan says it's 12 noon.
Okay. Lunchtime.
We're hungry.
So yeah, I got that one. That was the one I did, that Claudia one. But then we want to always look and make sure they weren't members in our regular channel. So it was kind of weird. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to look and see if there's a way, because right now it's asking me, everybody that wants to join in, it's asking me because I'm okay in those people. But that Claudia, I don't know where she came from, unless she was on the old one. And I forgot to look who it was that put the last one up, because we were in church. A little hard to look at nudie pictures while you're in church.
Although they did talk a lot about breasts in church. They're going through Ezekiel, and anyway.
You probably should have skipped this part. He got a letter, and he went over all that, and then he didn't understand that the lady wrote this comment at the very end, a PS, and he's like, I don't understand what it is. What it was is this, he got pretty
we don't have to go into
dramatic on explaining this part of Ezekiel. It talks about boobs and men and all this stuff and why they're there and all this stuff that's in the Bible. And he went back and showed you all this stuff and said, you're not supposed to dress like a harlot. And so, you should cover up.
Women should dress modestly, and men should only look at
their wives. She took it as, if a guy is a pervert and he's staring at a woman, that's his fault. He's the one that's doing bad, not if the woman's hanging out. And so this woman ended up writing in the PS. She writes down that she wouldn't write her name because
she didn't want to get branded.
Yeah. And he's like, he didn't understand, why would she be branded? I said, because she's probably one of the ones that are sitting in the front pew with the boobs hanging out.
What kind of church do you go to?
A fun church, one that allows guns.
It's Calvary Chapel Church. He's originally from Texas, and our pastor, and now
he was a bad guy. He was the drugs, and his parents were actually
rock and roller.
His parents were actually some of the
Mexican mafia
gang lords that are down. I don't know if his family's still down there now.
Well, no, his dad and mom are gone.
But somebody else took over the family name and did it stuff. So he came up here and he changed it. And one day he talked to somebody and he changed his life, and now he's a preacher, and he preaches from the Bible. It's pretty, but he does make his comments of what he thinks about things and his meaning, but he always says, go back and read the Bible and all that stuff. And
yeah, it's a good thing the minister didn't ask what you were looking at.
So that's the way it is. So
sounds like fun.
Yeah, that's definitely a different church. And so what they do is they do Friday night service too.
No, Saturday night.
Saturday night service. And then they do, they're getting busy now. They got 3 or 4 services during Sunday now. Because we used to go to 9 o'clock.
Now they got an 8, a 10, and a 12.
Yes, I don't like to drag. I want to get out. I don't want to waste my whole day sitting in church. So we go on Saturday night. So it's not so bad. And it's always his trial night. He's always, which I like that. I like that because he tries stuff. And he's like, man, I may not use it. He's not a comedian. He's not a really funny guy, but he tries to be funny. And some of his stuff that he's got is like,
He's like, I guess I won't use that next.
It's totally
Sunday.
quiet, and he changes his voice and stuff. And like when he's talking about God, he's got his voice real deep.
Or when I guess he was Goliath, and he had this. I remember he had that thing,
echo
and
in
he
it.
pushed the thing, and he's like, David Isaac. But anyway, it's good.
But he's not one that slams his hand on the desk when
He's not
when everybody's sleeping.
fire and brimstone
No.
preacher.
So, but it's definitely different.
Preaches the truth.
Yeah, and it's nice, and they watch our YouTube channel, and he might be probably on. No, I don't think they don't do nothing on Sunday night. Might be on now. They never ask. It's church lady and the preacher man.
He calls it the church.
From Saturday Night
Jennifer.
Live. From the Saturday Night Live. So where's the
I
church
couldn't
lady?
think of her name one day, and he's like, "Who just wrote you?" And I said, "The church lady." And so he's called her that ever since.
She's a church lady. So
Jennifer's. They're very nice.
yeah, and so yeah, they live here in town,
They
and
know the bike clubs, and they go to meetings, and they'll all catch up at church. There was one of the pastors there. He went to a different church, actually, Pastor Pete's church, who's across the street from the shop. They got a Christian bike group club.
Yeah.
Then we went with them once
time.
or twice.
went to Vegas once with them on a ride. So they used to be part of our church and decided they were going to start their own church, and you know how that goes. So
Anyway,
it is what it is. So
Sunday church night.
yeah. So just want to kind of tell you a little bit about that. That we should be getting a lift. We got first the guy act like, oh, we'll just pass your name on to somebody else, and then all of a sudden guy wrote
No,
me back.
I wrote back. I said, I hope you all had a nice Thanksgiving with your family and friends. We're just reaching out to see if you've passed this on to Frank, which is what the other guy's name was. He said he'd have to talk to, or upper management, to see if we could work together and get something worked out. And then they wrote him.
So he wrote and said, but you know what are you looking to do? So then I told him my story, and I said, well, you know, you could put a sticker on the side of it. So every time the lift's up, people would see your name. He's like, well, we don't really have a sticker like that. And I said, well, you know what I could do is get a guy to come in and paint it on there. And he wrote back and said, man, that would be really great. So, well, save me $1,600 if I get a lift, plus the shipping, probably another couple $100. So if they're paying for all that, the only thing I might have to pay for is I already looked and seen if I needed to get a forklift. It's about $300 for the day. And
well, they bring it out to you, and then
that's for them delivering it and bringing it back. So we'd have for a day if I need it that way. But I'm thinking a guy next door has got the one like you put tiles up on the roof and stuff with. Then that probably weighs a lot more than 1,000 pounds. The lift would weigh. But this one's going to have the sides on and everything. So because that's what I say. A lot of times when you look at a bike lift, a lot of them are just really thin, and the reason they are is so because you're going to run the bike up because it doesn't run. Well, I'm hoping the majority of the bikes we have are going to run, because if they don't run, I got to take them someplace else to have it looked at. I'm not going to look into tearing the motors and stuff like that. I'm willing to change some gas tanks or put fenders on or whatever we got to do. We may even talk to Advin Black about that. If we're going to give this stuff away, I don't care the quality. Well, I mean, some people don't like the stuff. It's Chinese made and all that stuff. But I mean, if he wants to promote it on the motorcycles, like I said, if I had an old bike and I was fixing it up and it was totally, you know, a lot of, like we look at these salvage bikes, it's got a lot of dents and stuff in it. It's a whole lot easier to throw some skins on the side of the gas tank and replace the fenders and stuff with this fiberglass stuff or the plastic or whatever it is. And it would be better than me going out and spending, you know, buying factory stuff. And if some of these bikes are, like I say, I don't know all the parts they got. I know the monkey deals with them a lot. I've talked to the guy, but I didn't really have an interest because I didn't really want to put them on my bikes. So, but something to think about. And then we've got a couple other people that said they would work with us to getting us parts and stuff for them. So that's kind of neat. So we got to get a hold of them. Once we get going with the bikes, we'd like to incorporate it, and I haven't done that yet. And
it takes a while.
Yeah, we want to get a 501c to where people want to give money to the bikes to build them. Then that you would know. Yeah, you can take it off, because what we're going to do is 100% of the money that we take in will always be given to the bikes. No money that we will take out for any expenses or salaries or anything else. And there are people go like, well, what are you going to make money on? Doing the videos on them. That way we have videos showing you I'm working on the bikes or whatever it is, and getting the bikes, picking them up, doing things like that. So it gives you, kind of keeps us in that motorcycle realm, because like now, you know, that's why we could here for a week or two, not really putting any videos out because it got down so low. You know, I was getting 400 or 500 views on a video, and I was like, man, this sucks. I said, you know, at least a couple of ones I've got out now. I got one that did like right around 5, and I got another one that came out the other day. It got around 2,500. So that's getting better. But I mean, those kind of videos, you still ain't making any real money on them. But what's crazy is we still want to thank those stupid morons at Topless Tuesday for shouting us out. That video now is at 330,000 views. I've made more money since those stupid morons made fun of me than anything else. So I'm going to call them up next year and say, so I'm going to get that girl riled up again next year. Say, I'm coming out. I'm coming out.
You're going to try to stop me?
Well, I'll put another one out. And, but I'm like, I just, which it is, I probably have gotten 150 to 200,000 more views since Sturgis on that video. Now, people aren't, they're assuming they're going to see all this topless stuff. You're not going to see topless stuff on YouTube. If you do, it's not going to be there very long before somebody yanks it down. Now, sometimes you can see stuff in the background and nobody's catching it. But if somebody complains, it's gone. Plus, the guy could get a strike and you're gone.
Well,
so
take your channel away, can't
yeah.
they?
So but it's just funny how this guy just badmouthing. So if you're a subscriber and you want to join one of the memberships down here, actually that video came up and I explained it all to you, exactly what happened, what we did, what was going on, what the agreement was, and they broke the agreement. So we did the same thing we did the year before. I put videos out. So actually the video that I'm making all this money on is from 2 years ago.
And we just went out there that morning. We didn't even stay for the event.
Yeah. So actually, I guess it's almost 3 years ago now, because it wasn't last year's rally. It wasn't the year before. It was the year before that. So it was supposed to be, because the year before, 3 years ago was when we made the deal with the guy to do it. 3 rallies ago, we made a deal to do it with him. Well, it didn't turn out. So the second year we went out there and I had somebody else film the topless part. And we went out there and did this stuff, got too much stuff to cover. Don't have time to be out there wasting a whole day. So we did. So I wasn't even there. So that video I did of that first morning of people getting ready at 2 o'clock, we took off and went back to Sturgis. And that's the video that's blown up. So it's been 3 rallies ago and it's making more money than any other. Well, I don't want to say any other YouTube, because any channel one that I've had, because people aren't watching it very long because they're getting on there and they're thinking it's going to be topless stuff. And it's like, hello, are you stupid? Because some people will write me, well, I thought I was going to see something. What do you think you're going to see on YouTube? You've seen what you could see, the few things I could show, because you can't even show pasties and stuff on, they'll come after us and stuff. So it's like, I've done really good. I haven't got any gigged on any videos in a long time.
XM Biker says, badmouth me, Bob, badmouth me.
That's what you need. What is Sturgis? I had this girl going, I'll tell her about you and tell me you're my buddy. You're going to do videos for me there and I'll get her. Because that's what this girl did. What it all started out as is somebody last year before Sturgis came asked.
You want him to watch that other video?
Well, I mean, it doesn't tell all about what all happened. But we had talked about this before. This girl came on and she just asked me, she didn't, but it was on another Sturgis page and that I belong to. And somebody came up and said, what do I expect if I've never been to Topless Tuesday? What do I expect? And I said, very crowded and they've ran out of beer. And this girl just jumped all over me. She's the bartender. She's actually been in most of our videos she was in and just started going at me. And I'm like, and she started trying to bring up what happened 3 years ago. And I'm like, you don't even know what the deal was. You don't even know. So I don't even know what you're butting in for. So then I'm like, I'm not going to talk about it here on social media. So the few things I said, I ended up going back and just deleting everything and left my first original comment because it is very crowded. If you've ever been there, there's a crap load of people. And if you don't get there early, you're not going to see anything. And we'll probably do another video. Maybe we'll go out there before Sturgis and stand out in front and do a video and talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. Because it's a lot of people say it's an S show. And a lot of the girls that are there, it's not very fair. It's not, the whole thing's a mess. You really need to watch my video, pay the $7.95, go check that video out and see what that is. And you'll see what I'm talking about. But that's what we started a new channel. It's not a new channel, but it's a membership you can join down here that you can join and it's giving you more things. Like the other day we did a live on it and talked about some stuff, but we've got some other things we're going to talk about. If any of you have been around a long time, I had a girl that I almost quit doing YouTube about 2.5 years ago. And we're going to spill the whole thing. Tell you her name, going to read the email she sent me, everything. And I don't care what you do. If those few people want to go back and harass the lady, I don't care. She shouldn't have ever said what she said. And when I read it to you, you're going to end up saying the same thing. I don't do what she says I do. So, but she's another one that was just, I don't know what her problem is. She runs a couple of pages and you'll have to find out who those pages are too if you watch the channel. We'll talk about that. But we're going to just talk about that. We're also going to tell you about dealers that we've had issues with and ones we don't recommend. There's one major group of family that we tell you never, ever, ever, ever buy a bike from them. And we'll explain how we got screwed by them. And plus, a lot of our friends got screwed by the same dealership. And so I don't want to go on here because we do have Harley Davidson does watch our channel. They have somebody there watching our channel because we get contacts from them. So I don't want to burn a bridge with them. So I don't.
Harley Davidson Corporation. That's the individual dealers. But
yeah, individual dealers. But they wouldn't want to hear me bad mouthing a dealer. And a lot of people do that. It's just like that stupid moron that's doing the AIs. And people need to quit watching this guy. And everybody should know who he is. But I mean, the videos, it's not his voice. It's not his video. It's nothing. He's copywriting everything. He's writing a script. And what this AI does is go out and grab all these clips. Well, they're all clips that somebody else has shot. Maybe it's not on YouTube. They look more like TV commercial type stuff. But I can do the same thing. This guy's getting, I think he's only got 2,500 subscribers or 27 last time I looked. But he's getting 40, 50,000 views because he's saying, oh, Indian Motorcycle is going to get rid of all their dealerships. And we called Indian up, and it's probably the letter's already gone out from corporate, but we got a hold of them and said, what the hell's going on? I can't, because first of all, anybody in their right mind should know there's no humanly way Harley Davidson or Indian or any of these major, it's like Ford Motor Company saying, we're going to get rid of all of our dealerships. Okay, that's fine. Okay. So what are we going to do when you have warranty problem? Where are we going? How are they going to cover it? They're going to pay Joe Blow down here that's charging $200 an hour? No. So that's why it is impossible for dealerships to get rid of dealers. Yes, they get rid of the smaller dealers because they're not doing enough. They're not building a big enough store. Yes, that is happening. And we've talked about that before. Talked about it a couple of years ago in Florida. We went through all that when a dealership closed up. And a lot of them that you may be around, a lot of the Canadian ones, if you're from Canada, which we found out from Canada, what happened was none of them actually had a franchise. They had a letter of intent to sell. So what they could do is they just told them, we're not selling any more Harleys because there wasn't enough to cover everybody. We got a question?
Yeah, Terry wanted to know if we were going to get a bidding pass at the Mecum auction. And I said, no, are you? And he said, no. He says, my garage is full and I'm not permitted. He said, you guys have a huge garage.
I ain't got a huge money, though. We spent way too much money lately. I got to get rid of the boat and a few other things to pay down the credit cards we got. And that probably won't even pay them all off. And so we've spent more money. And that's why we're kind of looking at this year going to Sturgis and stuff, or not Sturgis, but going to the East Coast to see how the money is going to go. One thing I'm looking at is it's too much wear and tear on my truck. I got 128,000 on it. By the time we come back, we'll probably have another
150.
No, I hope not. About another at least 10 or 15,000 more miles will be on the truck by the time we get back. And then we go to Sturgis again. So there's another 2,000 miles up and back, or 3,000, I guess, up and back. So I got to use the bathroom. So you get to talk.
So anyway, I've decided we were going to, it's too wiggly. That's our grandkids left everything. So he looked online and you can get like between $8 and $10 for all these wrestlers. And we probably got, I don't know, at least 50, if not more wrestlers. So he's thinking about putting all them online. So I've got your shirt I need to get that and make sure I pack it when we go to Mecum auction. And I guess we were going to go to Gallagher's with you for dinner. I was going to text you that and I never did do that yet either. I figured why not? We'll splurge. We'll go to dinner. So that's what we were thinking, or I was thinking. So we don't have any Christmas decorations up, and I probably won't put any Christmas decorations up because we're going to go to our other daughter's house probably around the 18th. So not shortly after Emory HVAC leaves, we'll have to get ready and go there. I want to finish getting the house all cleaned up and everything. So then we get back in January, we'll be able to finish up the garage. We need to get the boat put together because we need to sell that in the spring.
You got Christmas decorations right here. Got the Christmas.
Oh, well, you can bring it over here. For the one thing I got a Christmas card. Bring my card. My friend from Minnesota. No, Michigan. Look at this little card. Isn't this cool? Look at it. It's like 3D. And the reindeer. He was like $60, and then he was 50% off, and then I had a Kohl's coupon and all that stuff. That's my 2 Christmas decorations. That's all I got.
Oh, I got your half a manger scene there.
They hadn't ran over. In 81, I was pregnant with our twins, and I made a whole nativity scene And then one day he ran it over in the garage. So now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces left.
And if you stay all the way to the end, we're going to have a ladder match.
A TLC match. That's a little guy. That's not Mr. T. Who's that? I don't know.
That's that other guy. He retired. I quit. Whoever.
We used to watch wrestling all the time.
Now it's stupid.
I'm not
All
either.
the good
I'm
people
a
are gone.
Awesome. We're going to have a huge group. I forgot about my shirt. Woohoo. That's the next one.
Do you even know where it's at?
Yes, I do. I have to get it. It's in the trailer. So I need to get it out of the trailer and put it
I
by
thought
the
that one was in
suitcases.
the package in there. I thought maybe that was it.
That's the one you just bought. Remember you bought one online. It had all about Sturgis on it or
Well,
something?
it's the one that
It's got Clockworks
David
on it?
or Brian Clockworks. Brian Clocks sold a limited edition shirt. And I thought, $40, but I'll just go ahead and buy it.
Two
And,
ways. It's Bob's Toy Box. Yes. We used to watch wrestling all the time. Our youngest daughter was really into it. She liked Jake the Snake.
took her to WrestleMania.
And she
in
was
St. Louis.
mad because Jake was there, but he didn't bring the snake.
Well, he threw it in the bag, never let it out.
I don't think he probably had
No,
it.
I think he had the bag there, but it wasn't in there.
I don't know.
Wrestling is Chase. I don't know where it was at.
No,
it was
wasn't
Arena.
Chase. Yeah, it was
Arena.
probably, well, it wasn't even the Checker Dome. What was that called? Keel? No, I don't know where it was.
I don't remember either.
All those venues in St. Louis aren't there anymore.
I wouldn't go to St. Louis if my life depended on it. El Ghetto now. Everybody talks about it and stuff, and it's like, it's nothing like it used to be. And it's gone down since the 80s.
Yeah, they fixed up all the Cleeds Landing where we were like in high school, and you could go down there on the Mississippi River, and they had all these nightclubs
yeah.
and discotheques and all these boats, and then they brought the gambling in, and then that was probably the
They said there's nothing down with Cleeds Landing anymore. Used to be the Laugh Factory was down there for the comedy club. There was a bunch of good restaurants down there. There was a bunch of good old bars down there, and they're all gone. And I asked somebody the other day because we didn't even go last time we were in St. Louis. We didn't even go over to St. Louis. I guess we did drive. Who was it that was driving us around? Was it my brother-in-law?
No, it was
Larry.
Larry.
Was driving us around and trying to take us down and around.
And we made a wrong turn.
we
He
did
was
go
going to
down-
take us across the New Eads Bridge.
Got down in the ghetto and he was
freaking
no, it was my sister was freaking out. He was like, he didn't care. He had the gun under the seat. He said the guys are playing basketball. They're not going to. So there's a bunch of whiteys in a car. They're not. I worked in that kind of area for a long time.
It said Kickstands put in a new parking lot. So that's pretty cool. That's what Bob said.
Yeah, because
He's the one that brings me my strawberry rhubarb.
Well, he's the one that goes to Sturgis off and on.
No, he goes every year.
No, I mean, there's somebody that goes throughout the year.
Oh no, that's
not him.
Dub.
So we haven't talked to Kickstands lately. So I don't know what they've done, but see what they did is they got a lot of deals with them messing up their campground during the construction and stuff. And so they might've got them to come in and they might've had to do some of that for them, fix them at the parking lot there. But I mean, cause it did suck. If you got there during the rally, there's no parking for a car and it really ain't a whole lot for motorcycles. Cause once you get past their guard shack, you're not allowed to park. That's only for people that are in the campground. So, but it does get pretty crowded there.
You know what I never figured out? I always thought the spaghetti factory was like the spaghetti factory. Like there was no other. It's like a chain. I never knew that. When we went out to California, I'm like, there's a spaghetti factory out here. And it's got the same logo and everything on the side.
Well, she used to always go to the Hill too and eat.
That's got
They go Hill. Stuff. And we haven't been over there in a long time. I guess we were going to go get ice cream. We didn't go over there to Ted Drew's, world famous ice cream. And
no, we're staying at our condo. It's over on Flamingo.
Yeah. So we'll be it's off of Flamingo. So it's one of these things we've got it. If we didn't use it, we lose it. So it's a 2-bedroom. The idea originally was Adam was going to come out. He's going to help me rebuild the motor, which we're not going to do that now. But he can still come out. So but they just got off their cruise again. So she's really wanting to stay home. So I don't know. She's going to call her next week and see if they're
So the Doghouse never owned that bar on Main Street, because Dave says he heard the Doghouse sold their bar on Main Street. I think they just leased that.
Yeah, they leased it. They couldn't sell it. They were only leasing the property. So now there could be somebody else running it. The one on. Well, see, they had all three. They took over all
The Lot, the Bank, and Dirty Harry's.
So Dirty Harry's, where they did the wet teas and all that, the biggest place. That was the main one.
That's Daytona Dave. You don't have to explain.
So right across, well, I'm telling everybody else. So right across the street is the Lot that they had stages and bands and stuff on that. And then over on the corner of Dirty Harry's there on that same corner was called the Bank. It used to be the Bank, I guess. And they had, that was always a stupid place anyway, because it wasn't big enough to really have a good concert in it. So I don't know, but it may be more than, because what we heard was they spent for a 5-year lease, I think like $5 million. They had
and
to
that's
pay
what
for that.
the people bought it for.
Yeah.
The LPGA.
Because I think, yeah, because it got sold to the, whoever owns the LPGA is who bought it. And then they're leasing it. That's the story we were told by everybody. So
Karen wanted to know if there's any news on the Full Throttle.
what kind of news you want to know?
I know there's something going on. We did see the other day, they finally asked out and put out there, hey, who do you guys want to hear I have this year?
Well, he never books any bands to the veteran anyway. He's not going to have anybody. He's going to have the same. Well, he can't get Travis Fritz this year because he's over there. But I mean, he's going to have Kurt Ford or whatever it is.
Ford.
He's going to be there. He's there every year. And we'll see what else he got. I mean,
Jackal.
Yeah, Jackal will definitely be on there on Thursday night. One person on Jackal just play every night. Then I would say that would be a better way to go. But Jesse probably die because he's pretty well drunk by the end of the concert. I don't think he drinks that much except for when he's playing in the band. Because we see him all the time running around and he doesn't have a bottle in his hand. So, but yeah, I haven't heard anything about Full Throttle. Yeah, I haven't heard anything. Normally, Full Throttle, Michael Ballard is one that doesn't like to say much. He doesn't let anything really out. The few things we've talked to him. He's a very nice guy. He's been very nice to us, but he will not do anything for us. He wants money. And if he ain't making any money, because like now he's going to start doing a TV. He's doing a Ruco or something. He's going to start doing a TV show. And you have to pay to see it. So I don't know.
It's all about the almighty dollar.
Yeah.
Jackal was just in Cincinnati. Jackal's everywhere.
Yeah. He plays a lot. They do a lot of shows.
Yeah, they do.
But to me, they do. We've seen them, probably 10 or 15 years ago in
San Diego.
And it was one of the best shows we've ever seen them do. Well, it was there probably wasn't even 100 people in this bar. That's how small it was. But it's a place that when he first started, they played. And so they had this
Red Brick Bar.
Yeah, they had this special deal, and I got contacted by the bar saying, "Hey, do you want tickets?" And it was like, I don't know, $20 or $30 to get in, and it was a great show. It wasn't so super loud you couldn't hear, because it was wasn't much bigger than our living room here, and it had about 100 people, and you had bar stools and stuff we sat on. I got to be right up front when he was cutting the stool and happened. I mean, it was great. He played all the good songs. Well, now when you go out and watching, especially once the new year starts, it's every concert is the exact same songs in the exact same order. And he says the same things and all the stuff. And it's like, kind of gets old after a while.
Welcome to the Jackal effing reunion, family reunion. And it's like, this is over.
And he plays all the songs. And a lot of the songs, there's so many. I like Rally when he came out a few years ago. More than that, I guess about 5 or 6 years ago. He came out with that. They didn't play that one anymore. And I think that was a really good song. And he doesn't put it in his repertoire. He's got the same group of songs he plays all the time. But, that's what he does. People pay for it. I'm okay with that. And I like to see him. I used to follow him. We've seen him several times. But then after a while, it got to be the same stuff. And it's like, he's not doing anything new. We did the same thing. Her favorite songwriter was Kenny Rogers for years. She loved Kenny Rogers. So we went down and.
Well, no, what he did, I think for either my birthday or anniversary, he bought me tickets to go see him at the Fox. And then just because this was before, I guess before the tickets were, they had a special on PBS. And I said, oh, let's watch it. So we watched it, and it was a concert that he had done somewhere else. And then about a month later, we went to the concert at the Fox, and same exact show. So 5 years later, we went down to Branson, and he had a big theater down there. And he says, you want to go see Kenny Rogers? I said, sure, because he surely has changed his act since then.
Same jokes and everything. First person in the row there. I'll give you $1 every time you can name the song before I start singing.
And then another guy, he's like, oh, he says, you got that big lens camera. He says, you're trying to see my nose hairs? And it's like, same song, same jokes, word for word, everything. And I'm like, that's it. I'm done with him.
And there's a lot of artists like that because I guess they figure that most people don't come back and see, it's like a one-time time. You see them here, see them there. So it's like, but I mean, typically you want to hear the hits that they have, but I mean, you would think their jokes at least, or maybe mix the songs up. Most of the time they're always going to end up with their number one song is going to be at the end. You know, if you're watching whoever it is, if it's AC/DC, if it's Rod Stewart, if it's Styx or whoever you're going to be watching, they're always going to end up with their #1 song at the end because that's everybody goes out with applause, you know. And the one that drives us crazy is the ones that have a new album out and they want to play 4 or 5 songs in the middle of their set of these stupid songs you never heard of. And everybody's just sitting there going, That's why we started listening. We live in California. We listen more to tribute bands. We got a great Bob Seger guy, got a great Journey band, a whole bunch of these people we've seen that do such a great job because they only play the hits and they sound just like, I don't even listen to New Jersey. New guy singing for Journey sucks. I was a Stephen Perry fan. And that's what we started listening to was Stephen Perry. This new guy sounds nothing like Stephen Perry. So I can't even, we actually got up and walked out of a concert. They were the headliner. We
saw Foreigner and then Cheap Trick, and Foreigner was great. Cheap Trick was great. And we couldn't wait. We got Journey. Journey got up there and that guy started singing and we
halfway out, we got up and walked out. It was like Travis Tritt. We did that last time we seen.
He was the headliner. We walked out on Travis Tritt.
Yeah, it was sad. Sad.
That was probably one of the last concerts. I don't know if Charlie Daniels played or
Charlie Daniels in November of I guess 2 years ago, and we wanted. I go, let's go see Charlie Daniels. I've seen Charlie Daniels like 5 times. Now he never did the same freaking show twice, and so it's like let's go see Charlie Daniels. And they got Travis Tritt there. You know, we haven't seen. I don't know if we had ever seen Travis Tritt or not. If we did, it's been a long time ago. We didn't remember. So I said, let's go.
The funny thing was, it started like at 4 or something, and they had. I don't know who they had on first. They had some guy on, and then they had somebody else. Then they had Charlie Daniels. And then they had Travis Tritt. Well, Charlie Daniels was running all over the stage, and he'd stop and he'd drink water, and wipe his face off, run all over the stage.
He did a hell of a good show.
And then
best show I've ever seen him do.
And then
Travis Tritt. So Travis Tritt, it's like 11 o'clock now, and Travis Tritt comes out. You know, and he starts out, and it might be closer to 11:30. So he's playing, and he's out there, and he kicks his foot.
He had zero energy.
Yeah, he didn't talk to you or nothing. And it's like, I think we stayed there all night in the hotel, and it's already after midnight now. And I'm like, are you done? And she's like, yeah, I'm done. I'm like, let's just go back to the room. And somebody else, when we walked down the hall, they said, is the concert over? And they're like, for us, it is. It was just, I don't know.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, artists can do what they want, but it's almost like some of these artists, especially when they get down, when you start looking at rally bands, they're the same ones that do the county fairs and the state fairs and do bike show, wherever they're doing that kind of stuff. They're not filling a big hall up anymore. You know, now there could be a exception now with you know, Kid Rock still does some big concerts but a lot of these other ones, you know, Travis Tritt, I don't know if he could sell out a concert if he was the sole singer coming out. I don't know if there's that many Travis Tritt fans out there. But I mean, it's almost
my daughter just went and saw him when they moved to Kansas. So it's been since August. And she says, Mom, that was the worst concert I've ever been to in my whole entire life. She said he had no energy. And I guess one song he sings, he does this, I don't know, woo-hoo-hoo, whatever, in the middle of the song. And he says he couldn't even do that. He said he kind of stopped, and he didn't have any backup singers like to maybe carry him on, you know, so it looked like he was doing it, but he wasn't. She said he just stopped. And she said that ruined the whole song. She said it was horrible. It's the worst concert she'd ever been.
We could have told you. I think it was true. So we won't be at the Buffalo Chip that night watching Travis Tritt. Tell you that for sure. So we are staying at Kathmandu. For those that don't know, we are there. Most of the other rallies that we have after we got the video. Hopefully tomorrow will come out. It's about. So you think you're going to a motorcycle rally this year? That's what the title's going to be. So looking for that. Hopefully tomorrow I'll have it done. Down to the last 10 minutes. About a 30-minute video. So it's got a lot of content in it about a lot of different rallies all around the United States. And
all the ones we've been to.
Yep. And talking about all that. And right now I just got done with the Rocky Point part. And now I think I got Laconia left. And I don't know what else I got. And I didn't have much for Arizona. I couldn't find all my footage for Arizona. I did have a little bit, but not a lot. And couldn't find the stuff for a couple of the ones I just had a hard time finding stuff for. Some of it's back on the old PC. And I'm going to have to switch that all over because I can't do much with it in the PC. Trying to drag it in the Mac. So I'm going to have to put it on a hard drive. And then once it's in the computer, then I can do stuff with it. I can change the names, and I need to put there. I found most of our videos that I've done over the first couple of years were on that drive. And I haven't been using it because I didn't think the Mac would see it, but the Mac does see it. It's just you can't do nothing to it inside. But so I'm going to drag that all over on YouTube. What's on YouTube?
I don't know.
The video tomorrow night is on YouTube. I'll be on YouTube, and I usually put a link also after it's on. I'll put it on Facebook too, let you know, because we were on the Sturgis page tonight too, for anybody who was watching Sturgis. Even though it's not totally all about Sturgis, it was part of this was about Sturgis. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. In my video tomorrow, I'll probably put it on the Sturgis page too, because Sturgis is in there too. Because no matter what anybody says, Sturgis is the biggest rally. Daytona is not the biggest rally. Galveston's not the biggest. But Galveston, I do catch now that they say it's the largest in Texas, and I'm okay with that. Probably is. And Daytona is probably the largest in Florida. I'll probably go with that. And they're probably the largest on the East Coast. I don't think they're bigger than Myrtle Beach. Myrtle Beach might have been bigger back in the day, but it's dwindling.
What about Laconia?
Yeah, Laconia. So, we'll see the video tomorrow. And we talk about all the rallies.
That in Ocean City.
Yeah. I couldn't find all my footage. I guess I did find some footage for Ocean City. Ocean City was kind of neat. It was just different. And a lot of these rallies, and people don't realize it, is the rallies mostly are either a 300, 500, or 100 mile club that people come to that area because it's more of a local thing. So when you look at the two biggest rallies here are Daytona and Sturgis. If you look at my page, that is the ones that got the most views of all my videos that I have. All the ones that are over 200,000 views are all ones that are in Daytona or in Sturgis. Sturgis is a granddaddy of rallies. I get the most views out of my Sturgis rallies, but Daytona does really good too. Myrtle Beach 1 year did so-so, but it's mainly because it's the week-long rally. People are more interested in what's going on versus a rally that's just 3 or 4 days. Because you say, well, why don't you do the fall rally? Wouldn't it be as good? No, it's not, because people don't really care. Daytona, I think, does good because it's kind of like the first kickoff of the new year. It's bigger because you get a lot of the Canadians and all the people on the East Coast. If it's a cold winter, they want to get out. And that's what I said. People say, oh, they drag trailers. Well, a lot of people do because you can't get well, a couple people we talked to drove their bikes out in the snow, but most people don't want to drive a truck or drive their motorcycle, ride it in the snow. They'd rather put it in a trailer and haul it down. And it is what it is.
Yeah, one guys, I think we saw him at when is it, Iron Horse, and they dug out of their garage a path for their bikes in Chicago and drove all the way through Illinois through the snow down to Daytona.
It took a couple days before they got out of snow. And it's like there's some devoted people that are very, I have rode in the snow, but I never went in the snow because I had nothing. I mean, I never to go anywhere. I got my bike out in the snow because I wanted to play with it in the snow. But I wouldn't drag my bike out of snow and drive to Florida on my bike. I'm not that. I don't want to live that long, I guess. I don't want to die.
Your thumbs up. Don't sit on your thumbs. Give them a thumbs up. Thank you.
Appreciate that.
That's John.
Appreciate that. Because it all helps out. It helps the rhythms. And people always say that, what makes your channel? What helps your channel? One, people writing comments. Now here, it doesn't do a whole lot. I didn't even monetize this before I did it. So I didn't make any money on this video. But after the fact that people are watching it, they'll.
It was close call. He said, hopefully nobody buys a bike at the end of the auction this year. That was chaos. Remember, we had to drive them down there really quick. And he was surprised.
Well, anybody wants to buy a bike for a set price, I will store it in my building now. We can get a trailer while we're there. We'll put a bunch of bikes on them. We'll haul it back up there to Arizona, and then you can contact us when you want to come get it or have a shipper come get it. I ought to do that, make that offer. Maybe it'll be enough money I can buy me a trailer. I want to get a flatbed. Tried to buy it in the auction, but these two people wanted $4,000 for this trailer. That for $5,000 I could buy a brand new one.
Because by the time it was $4,000 you wanted to pay, and then you had to pay all these fees. So it'd be. He says you might as well just buy a brand new trailer. What's the use of going to auction? And
but see, I had to pay more because I had a title, and so. But I'm like, why don't they just stick it on a stupid lot or go buy the new ramp on the back? It's just twisted a little bit. I figured I'd take the torch, heat it up, I'd bend it back, drive a car on it, straighten it out, and it'd be good enough. Because I wanted something that I can put cars on it, a truck on it, or I could put motorcycles on it. So that's what I want. I wanted something that I can haul 10,000 pounds or 12,000 pounds on the back of it to where I can do whatever I want. I don't want just a motorcycle trailer, because if I end up going on these auctions and they got something I want to buy, a Jeep or something like that, I'm like, I'm buying that too. I want to put that on my trailer with it. So we'll see how that all goes. So that was what I was hoping to get down in Kansas, was a trailer and a motorcycle. I was looking at got
another trip after.
Yeah, I had drove back. But then after I figured about it, because the motorcycle ended up, I think it went for a lot less. I had offered $1,250, which is more than I wanted to spend for the bike. And the guy wanted $1,600, and he dropped down to $1,300. And then the next auction, I didn't even go on, because I'm like, I'm not going to get the trailer, then I've got to rent a trailer to bring it back. I'm not going to throw it in the back of my truck. I got a short bed truck. So it's like, I'm not going to spend, it's not worth that kind of money. Plus, you don't even know if the motor runs. You don't know, because it wasn't tested. They didn't start it. It did have keys. That was the only good thing. The battery did come on, but it wasn't enough to get it started.
Yeah, some of those, if you get a pass for Mecum auction, you might be able to get some decent price. Well, some of them didn't go for very much.
Well, it depends on what you're, but I mean, if you get, like, we got a friend over here, he's got a 78 Honda 400 with, I think, 1,700 miles on it. I think he said it had on it, that he wants 2,500. This is clean. And I'm like, you got to take it to the Mecum auction. I said, you probably could get 10 grand out of this bike. Because what ends up happening is somebody that sees something that they had when they were a kid, or like me, I had a 74 Honda XL100, an orange one. If they had one, I would bid on it. I'd probably end up paying more than what it sells for, what it sold for new. And
CC said U-Haul trailers are cheap by the day.
Yeah. But the idea is what you want to do is take the trailer. You don't want to go one way with it. I want to bring it back because it's a lot cheaper than taking the trailer in one way. But it's because to take the trailer, like if to rent a trailer from Kansas to all the way to here, they'd probably want $500 to $1,000. And so that would be put into my price of my motorcycle. So now it's stupid money.
Jerry said that Bob's Mecum bike storage. He said, I wish I would have done that. And then I would have flown out when it was nice and rode across country to Pittsburgh.
But I didn't have the bike then. I didn't have a building
didn't
yet
have the garage then.
Yeah. So now we do. So
Now
if you
you
buy
know.
something, let us know.
He said he's not allowed. Here in Florida, I have a friend that sells trailers if interested. And you can make payments. We don't want to make payments.
I'd like to pay cash for one, but we're looking around and I see some in Florida because actually this company that actually has this auction one was actually from Florida. So what they do is they're a leasing company too. So you could lease the trailer, and that's probably what happened. This trailer released, it was a 2021, I think. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So
the
there's
bikes
probably
are much cheaper on Wednesdays and Thursdays. So
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know if I want to spend the money. And then if I don't bid on nothing, I've lost the money. So we already get in free. So I don't know. But then you're sitting there too, and you're looking at stuff, and it's kind of like these auctions. I kind of go through and I videotape the bikes that were there. Then I can go back and I could look at, because a lot of them say unknown. They don't know when they're going to come up for auction. Well, one of them came up for auction while we were still there, and it was a Road Glide. Actually, it didn't look that bad a shape, but I didn't look to bid on it. So we have the auctions over here in Phoenix. So that's what she asked me the other day. When are you going to go to Phoenix? I said, probably not. All this crap we're doing. I got a lot of stuff.
I don't know how we can be so busy and not be doing nothing. It's crazy.
We've been gone for 3 weeks. So there's 3 weeks I didn't get anything done because we were going somewhere else.
You've got a lot
So
done.
now you're going to go
Not
down to
just
the other
for
daughter's
us.
house for a week and a half. I'm going to be there and I'm not going to get nothing done. So
You can always go look, Karen said.
yeah,
You'll
Phoenix
have
is
to
a long
let
way
us
go.
know when we get down there to Florida.
Yeah.
She's in DeLand, so.
But then I got to figure out how to get it home back to Arizona if I buy it in Florida. Then they want to charge you $600 to ship it.
160 Biker Chick, he wants a storage unit too. And she said, I'll sell it really cheap. It was like $1,500. It was going to cost us $8,000 to ship it back here across the Arizona. And we can buy one for $6,000.
I think it was $3,000 or $4,000.
And it's like, I don't know. When we find a good deal, then it's the shipping is what's crazy.
Yep.
All right.
All
We're
right.
about 2 hours.
All right. So you can wrap her up. How many people do we have on? 39. We're not got many on now.
No.
A lot of people got off watching football.
Probably football.
Football.
Sunday night football. Oh, when we were at our daughter's house, oh my gosh, they're into football. Football's on Monday night. It's on Thursday
It's
night.
on every night.
It's
Just leave
on
it
Saturday
that way.
night. It's on Sunday night. I'm like, holy cow.
That's what you told them.
Football's on again.
We watched more football the
In
3
that
weeks
month
we were there
there.
than we have in our whole entire life. We watch more TV there than we have in the last couple of years. We're
Well,
not
we found a
TV.
good station, you guys. If you guys just have internet and you don't want to do any kind of streaming or pay for cable or TV, go to Pluto. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
They got all kinds of TV stations. They've got movies. They've got, you name it.
Well, it's not brand new stuff. We were watching the CSI. Watched, I don't know how many of those shows we watched, but it was a good show back then. She also went to Freevee, Freevee. That's got Dallas on it. She's a big Dallas fan. I used to watch it, but I mean, when she watches it now, it's kind of boring. And but I mean, there's some. I like to see when we travel. That's one of the nice things is because we have the antenna on the trailer, and we get to watch all those MeTV. We get to watch the Rockford Files and all these old shows
Perry Mason,
Adam 12, all these great old shows that are still good today. Some shows I watch, I'm like Three's Company. We used to watch that. I watch that now. It's so stupid. It's ridiculous. I can't even look at that. It's like, I don't know how we watched it back then, but so some shows are too stupid to watch.
So Terry says you can check out online every bike that's going to be auctioned and they're done in numeric order. So you have to, did you say you tried to get on? You couldn't get on or something?
No, what I tried to do is get on their site. I signed up and I wanted to go back and look because this friend has got the 78 Honda, and I wanted to see because they got the history. Well, I can't find it on there where the history's at. It said, because it said for you to find the history, you got to log in and do all that. So I signed up and did all that. But nowhere on there, when I went in there for the search, it put me in the search for the stuff that's on the auction in Las Vegas. I'm like, that's not what I want. I want the stuff that they sold. And I've seen it before, but I don't know if it's still on there or not. So if it is, you'll have to email us and tell me.
Tell them how to do it.
Because I couldn't find it. Usually I'm pretty good at finding stuff, but.
There you go. Email us and say, this is how you find the history. Because he wants to find out if it's worth our friend to take that bike, that Honda, whatever it is, up to the Mecum auction. But because I know you got fees and then you got to pay certain days and whatever. So I don't know. There you go. So John says Harry-O with David Jansen. Oh, was that one of the TV shows? Harry-O, I don't remember that. When we first got married, we had HBO, which was like a big deal. We thought that was so cool. And we used to watch this show called Philip Marlowe, Private Eye. And I don't know. I can't remember any of the shows. I just remember the name. And we watched that religiously. So I don't know whatever happened to that, or if that's on all HBO's old shows. Do they have a archive?
Probably.
Hi, Jason's on. Hey, he's the one, him and Jody won the thing to Bikes, Booze, and Barbecue.
Oh, okay. We're almost done now. We're wrapping it up. Let's go back and watch all the beginning to see what was happening tonight. But
yes, it was a TV show. Okay.
We used to watch that Night Court. Now, see, they got the new Night Court on, and I don't like. See, I don't watch any of the shows like Magnum PI. That's stupid now. Some of them other shows that they've redone, they're not even anything like the old shows. And Magnum PI, that I try to watch that, and that's the stupidest can be. And it's like, come up with some new stuff. You might as well call it a different name, because the people that probably watch Magnum PI and all the old shows aren't going to watch the new crap because it's got nothing to do. It'd be like the Brady Bunch coming out with another family and calling them the Brady Bunch second group. It's their grandkids having a show. That wouldn't last any longer.
Well, they did that with the daughters when they got married. They bought a house together, and I don't know.
That didn't last long either.
No, it didn't. So it's not a bike we saw. He wants to research what a bike like this sold for on a previous auction.
See, when we originally talked to Mecum years ago, when we first started this, that's what they said, that if you're thinking about bringing a bike to the auction, you can go back and look at our history, and it will show you all. If that similar bike sold, it'll show you what they got for it back then. Not saying you'll get it today, but I went to look for that, and I couldn't.
What year is it? A 78?
Yeah, it's a 78 Honda 400. I forget what the model is. I had it written down, but I have to go look for it. But it's the street bike one. It's not the 400 automatic that they had for a while, but it's one. But I mean, this bike is clean. It's red and white, and it's really nice looking bike. When I went over there and looked at it, he got it for. I thought he paid a little too much for it, but when I looked at it, I was like, "Holy crap! This bike looks like it's brand new. It's the foot pegs aren't worn on or anything. It's got. I thought he said it had 17,000. I think it's only got 1,700 miles on it. And it was a lady up the street had it, and they put it at a yard sale. And the people down the street, her husband died or left or something, and she had the bike, and she was just wanted to get rid of it. And so he picked it up, and I'm like,
well, she wanted a certain price, and he said, well, if you don't get it, call me. And he gave him his number. And so a couple of days later, he knocked on the door and said, "You're still interested in that bike?"
I said, "Yeah, I got the cash right here," and he bought it.
And,
so yeah, because he says I ought to just sit out here. Well, sitting out here is not gonna. You don't get the people here don't have a lot of money. He's got a daughter that lives in California. I said, "You ought to take the bike over there." And then when I seen that, I thought, "Oh crap, you ought to take this to the Mecum auction. You probably could get a good chunk of money for this." I would think it'd bring $5,000-$10,000, and he got nowhere near that much money in it. I think it's somebody would look because it's got saddlebags and it's got a box, but it's not the factory stuff. And he was going to repaint it all red to match it, and I'm like, I'd take all that stuff off and just sell it on eBay and sell the bike at the Mecum auction. I said, I think you can get big money, but I don't know where to get that search at. I couldn't find it.
He said he'd try to look it out for us and then let us know. Yeah. So we wanted to know what bikes like that sold previously at Mecum, so we could let him know if it's worth him taking it up to Mecum to sell it this year. That's what we were trying to look up.
Yeah.
All right.
Bye.
He's got a little video that says, "Hi, Bob." But that doesn't really work because he's saying "Hi, Bob" to somebody else, and you're Bob.
It comes on before I start talking.
I don't know.
It comes on and say, "Hi, everybody." And he says hi back. See? Used to be a cartoon. I think I used it once before.
Yeah, my daughter when we first started. Yeah. It was I
used to do a lot of that. I don't do a lot of that anymore. I don't know if people want to see that or not. I used to put on some people. that would say like
30 seconds later.
like this, yeah, like the stuff that SquarePants Bob, whatever his name is,
SpongeBob
yeah,
SquarePants.
whatever he did, those things that came up, and I used to do some of those, and then I kind of got away from it. I watched her 2 Wheels the other day, and she does a lot of different things like that. She moves the frame in and out and things like that. I guess if you had time to do it, you spend more time editing. I don't know. She's built a pretty good channel up, but she's a girl. So people want to see a girl on there versus a dude.
Okay, so what did Karen say? Is that how you're going to say goodbye, Bob? Out loud. Yep. So, all done?
I've been done. You just keep talking.
Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. We appreciate all of you guys. Love you all. Hope you have a very Merry Christmas if we don't see you before then. And we'll be around. Check out the videos. Subscribe to the channel. And we'll see you on the next video.
Yep, we got another one coming out. Hopefully tomorrow night. It'll be a great one. It's going to be 30 minutes long. I think it's almost 30.
Editing. And Biker must not do a lot of editing.
Yes. This one I know I've worked 8 hours today at least. If not, I don't know what I worked yesterday. I worked half a day yesterday on it. So probably the stupid video why I won't bring any views. We have another YouTube friend that's got like 300,000 views, and he spent one whole day working on this video, did all this fancy stuff on it. And about a week later, he came on and said, "That's a bunch of crap." He said, "You guys didn't watch my video." He says, "I spent all this time making it really good and all that." Well, it's got nothing to do with
a lot of editing and all this stuff he did and all this stuff.
And it was a nice video, but it didn't go viral. You don't know what's going to go viral.
You never know. So Beggars and Coffee, do you know who that is?
No.
That's who we saw up in
I've seen the name.
Seacom, or not Seacom. Where did we just go?
SEMA.
They're the ones that we had lunch with and stuff. So he's editing his toy run video while watching our live. He said,
okay. So, where's the toy run at?
They live in California. Remember, she lives on.
Did you do the one on Huntington Beach? That's a toy run we did before.
Yep.
Geez, all those people you haven't talked to?
No, they just all are saying goodbye. Have a wonderful Christmas, Troop says. Have a good evening, Jerry. Jerry, you. Thumbs up. Don't forget a thumbs up. There's Daytona Dave. Merry Christmas, Bob and Tam. John says thumbs up. He keeps saying thumbs up. I'll send you the 411 on the trailer. Thanks, Karen. You can send it through Messenger. Thumbs up. He just keeps saying thumbs up. Good night. And Karen, no purple heart. She's got a green heart in there.
Christmas time,
I guess.
She's green up there.
I guess.
The letter's green.
All righty. Thanks a lot. See y'all later.
Time for dinner.
Bye.
Put your thumbs up.